As a child, the main character had a strange, cherished dream. The star t-shirt scored again and tied the score at 1-1. The boy dreamed of becoming the best football player in the world, and he firmly grasped this goal. Football captivated the boy. All his thoughts and heart lived in the image of the future legendary football player. The parents supported their son in everything and nurtured his dreams. What is their boy thinking? Phobos wants to become a great football player like Trent Wool. To become a legendary athlete, you need to have natural talent, and the boy's father is sure that Phobos definitely has such talent. His dad was right. Phobos wanted to believe that he was a genius football player. The boy joined a football academy, waiting for his incredible talent to be recognized. Phobos was confident in his value and uniqueness, but the reality turned out to be different. The boy was no match for children who had undergone professional training. The young footballer kept falling and losing the ball. But in his thoughts, everything was different. Phobos is back on Earth with broken knees. When will his talent awaken? The coach has been watching his student for a long time. It's time for him to change course. From today on, Phobos will train separately. In that area, everything inside the boy collapsed. That is, how? This is a group for kids with a below-average level, and he is a genius. It felt as if a huge, impenetrable wall was blocking his path. After this, Phobos left the academy, avoiding the undesirable reality. Everyone blossoms at their own pace, and a sprout can appear quickly. But this does not mean that the flower will bloom soon. But what if he had not given up then? What if the boy did have talent after all, and it just needed time? And if Phobos had worked hard and developed it, it would have blossomed now. What's wrong with your friend? Phobos got drunk again. He's just happy for Kova. Such a great occasion. With the enrollment of a friend, he was accepted. Phobos already congratulated him. Good things need to be celebrated. They don't happen often, at least not with Phobos. And his friend is living the life that the young man himself dreamed of. And he himself is to blame for this. Kova became part of a professional football club, while the young man himself works as a cashier in a grocery store part-time. Phobos emptied his glass, trying to find some comfort in it. But alas, since childhood, the boy dreamed of becoming a professional football player. He's such a pathetic idiot. He shouldn't have given up at the first failure. If Phobos continued, he would play with a friend. This is nonsense. He is just an amateur without any special abilities. Besides, empty self-pity won't change anything. It's too late. Phobos wanted football to be more than just a hobby. He didn't want to give up then. But he gave up when the world did not bow down the first time, feeling that he was not exceptional. It was possible to acquire talent through work, but he did not want to strive. He wanted to have everything at once. How he wanted to be a genius, he could come back later, but he did not want to be convinced of his mediocrity. Phobos continued to feel sorry for himself, blaming everyone for his unwillingness to achieve. How the guy wished he could turn back time, start all over again and work. What an idiot he is. He wanted to become the greatest with a snap of his finger and no effort at all. Even the most talented people develop themselves. What about football now? His buddy needs 2 for today's mini-match, 4-on-4. It was pouring rain outside, and a storm cloud was forming in the sky. Of course, the guy agrees. This is all that is left for him from football. Kova greeted his acquaintances. The football players had already gotten wet. And this is his friend Phobos, who replaced the sick guys today. Oren Swern ignored Phobos demonstratively in front of the entire team. He was a talented player and could even win the Boma Football Award. There was talk that Oren could have become Ambrosino's successor, but he left due to injury. Phobos had a bad relationship with this guy since childhood, and it continues to this day. Why did the guys gather to play in the pouring rain? It's somehow uncomfortable. The closed field is now booked 2 months in advance. The team that scores 5 goals first wins. The game has begun. Why can't you just be great because you really want it? You have to work and develop. Phobos used to be a good striker at the academy where his father took him, and he needed to continue. His physical and technical abilities were certainly above average, and that thought warmed him even now. And he has enough experience to hit the ball anywhere on the field. However, this is not enough again. Oren blocked the opponent's access to the ball. Again, it was him. Phobos could never compete with talented guys or hard workers. While the others did not spare themselves in training, Phobos spared himself. So he didn't have any gaming experience to enter the fray. But Phobos dreamed that he would easily surpass everyone. It would be a triumph. He had torn Oren apart 100 times in his fantasies. But in life, Phobos will never get through to trained guys. There is no point in empty dreams if you don't take steps towards them. Oren kicked the ball. It hit Phobos' foot. He couldn't even block the blow. Why whine and ask for pity without changing anything? Phobos grabbed the t-shirt. The guys pulled them apart. Phobos was choking with anger because Oren was right, and it was infuriating. Let him pick up the ball that flew away from his foot. One day Phobos will tear this arrogant freak apart, but for now it's only in his dreams. The main character ran after the ball. What a nasty guy. He didn't become great either. The young man bent down to the ground. At that moment his body was pierced by lightning. The guy can't believe that he'll be killed by a discharge like that. Phobos let out a painful roar. He hadn't achieved anything in life yet. He will die as senselessly as he lived his entire short life. The boy roared with resentment. Let them give him his life back. He needs a second chance. He needs glory. Wait a minute. He's still alive. And where is Phobos now? He's definitely not on the football field. Here, from the dark space, the silhouette of a hellish creature began to form. He's not in the hospital, and apparently not even in his world. So where is he and what kind of creature is this? Some evil spirit or demon appeared before Phobos, right? And the human species is quite clever. It's just that this demon looks like one of them. This is the demon of greed. People call him Mammon. He will probably want to make a deal with him. And what kind of deal are we talking about now? What can Mammon offer him? And what is much more important is what this tempter wants to receive in return for his services. A man can exchange two things with a demon. Mammon extended his hand with a yellow sphere. Phobos can give up his time. The demon extended his other hand with a purple sphere, or ability. A person can go back at least 10 years, at most 20. However, there is a price to pay for this opportunity. There is an unbreakable balance in this world. Nothing is done for no reason. And what is the price? He wants to go back. These are years of life. His lifespan will be shortened by the years he will return to. That is, if a person goes back 10 years, he will give 10 to the demon. But no one knows when death will overtake him, right? It doesn't matter until he becomes incapable of doing a man's job. Or he won't go bald, and nowadays people can live up to 100 years. So what difference does it make? So, as for abilities, without them Phobos will not achieve anything on his own. The demon of greed will endow a person with his devilish power. And what kind of power is this? Phobos will be able to get everything he wants. The power to turn other people's talents into his own sounds great. It's hard to understand from words. You'll have to try it in practice. Phobos wants to have everything he didn't get. With the help of the devil's power, he will really have everything he wanted. Now it looks more like an act of unprecedented generosity than a deal with a demon. Now let a person think about how many years back he wants to go back. This is all some kind of madness. But if it turns out to be true, then at the very beginning of the path, the main character felt warmth spreading throughout his body and was transported in time. On TV, a columnist was talking about the transfer of player Trent Wool to Frankfurt Eintracht. That is, Phobos really was able to return to the past. How is this possible? The boy turned to look at the calendar. Exactly 14 years ago. At this time, Phobos was 10 years old and in the 3rd grade. This is exactly the age when a boy can achieve everything. Here it is, a second chance. The boy's pleasant thoughts were dispelled by a female voice. Dad's help is needed. The boy's father stood up from his seat. He had been working hard and had lost track of time. Is it his parents or something? Why are they so young? It's crazy. Again, a family dinner for 3. What their son dreams of. The father always asked this question. The boy wants to become the greatest football player in history. Phobos is true to himself. The greatest. Like Trent Wool, apparently. Not at all. The guy wants to become the best football player in the whole world. And the son's appetite is growing. With devilish strength, he will conquer the whole world. This is what Phobos wants now. He himself will now become an idol for everyone. The parents laughed warmly at their boy. He was so brave. With the help of the demon, he will take away all the talents from the pros. With such a set, he will become invincible. Phobos is now 10 years old, and for now he can do whatever he wants. But we can't forget about the curfew and the ban on drinking. He is still a child. And his father knows where Hypernova is, but why does the boy need to know that? After all, this is the official ball of the World Cup between Korea and Japan. Hypernova, why does my heart beat so fast just from looking at him? Phobos was so happy when he was little that he wanted to grow up faster. But only when he became an adult did he realize that this was the happiest moment in his life. So it is worth checking whether this devilish power works or not. The young man concentrated, lightning struck, and a board with a description appeared. Phobos has no talents. What a disappointment. He was confident in his uniqueness. He invented his own talent, and was angry that others did not see it. You need to get used to your young body again. Considering its worthlessness, it is no worse than an adult's. It would be nice to find a peer to compare yourself to someone gifted. Then a familiar nasty voice called out to the boy, asking what the brat was doing here. Behind him stood young Oren Svern, with the same arrogant look and vile character. The little one doesn't even know how to play football. Why is he taking up the field for nothing? What a bastard. Oren is also 10 years old now, and he is the same age as his peers. This means that the red-haired man wants to start a quarrel immediately upon seeing Phobos. This is constructiveness. What's wrong with scolding a person who is incapable of anything? He used to be good for nothing, but now he steals everyone's talents. Instead of hitting the bastard, the guy watches him. The boy's pupils became vertical, and why was he staring at Oren like that? Perhaps this ability can also determine the talents of other people. Class B football prodigy with a powerful mid-range shot. It turns out that in order to copy a talent, you need to play with it for more than 60 minutes. Oren is not a football genius, but he is better than him. That's how demonic power works. It's worth a try. Without other people's talents, he still won't reach the top. Phobos suggested that Oren play football together, since he was on break. The mini-match began. Oren did not let the boy get near the ball. Phobos is so weak and sluggish, he doesn't even keep an eye on the ball. The guy was barely breathing. Oren was too bored to play with him. It was better to play with the wall. You need to choose the talent that Phobos wants to take away from him. Naturally, the boy wants to become a football prodigy. The necessary condition was met. Now the boy had someone else's talent. Now they are on the same level. Now he will not dare to belittle him. Copying a talent does not free another from it. Oren did not become worse, but he will cease to be unique. It takes 50 minutes to copy another talent, probably because of the C rank. Oren doesn't want to play with the little one anymore. He moves terribly and just wastes his time. Phobos began to beg him. In exchange, he was ready to buy him a chocolate bar. It didn't work. He won't leave anyway. Phobos needs to steal his talent, otherwise he will be a non-entity again. But Oren didn't even listen and walked on. What a stubborn man. Then Phobos will also buy him Teokbokki. Which is true or not, that's a different story. What a relief. Oren is still the same snack-addicted child. He was easy to manipulate. The boy could barely breathe. His stamina was 0. But now he can copy the second talent, mid-range strike. That's where they'll end. Phobos is tired. To play you need to train, not feel sorry for yourself. By the way, the little one's skills unexpectedly became much better during the game. It's all thanks to Oren, because he stole his abilities and took the first step to glory. What? Nothing special. The boy will buy him everything he promised. Thanks to this bastard, Phobos became talented. This is the least he can repay. But the brat's family is poor. His parents won't scold him for such a purchase. Maybe it's not worth it. Oren told the truth, but he doesn't like to hear it. Even as a child, he's annoying. Yes, his parents also did not try as hard as their son. For a good future, dear YouTube viewer, I will give a coin to everyone who leaves a comment under this video. Write something if you want to check. But now, thanks to the efforts and talents of others, everything will be great for them too. However, Phobos now knows that even talent needs to be developed. You can't just have it. To prevent a gift from turning into mediocrity, simply stealing it will not be enough. There was a time when a 5-year-old football player went viral on YouTube. This phenomenon was later discovered by Manchester United. But in this era there is no YouTube yet, so you need to appear on a live broadcast. And there is a suitable broadcast for this. Previously it was a program for young people. Previously, it was released during the World Cup. Many players were noticed then. Canaverdan was taken by Valencia. Great opportunity to quickly become a star in a short time. You have to try it. Phobos told his father that he wanted to star in Dory, the catalyst for youth success. What is it? It is a program for the development of youth football. The first such program in Korea. They are looking for young football talents. Few people know about the program at this time, including his parents. The program is now open for children to audition for the team. Football is aimed at talented children between the ages of 8 and 10. The audition will take place on September 3rd and will be broadcast live. The football club's coach is current singer Nero Fears from Turbo. Phobos was placed in the arms of his parents. Their son really wants to get there. And now he will be able to declare his talent there, not his own. But who will know about it? The parents laughed warmly. Their boy was so determined. It is simply impossible to refuse such zeal. They will support it. The path to the future greatest footballer in the world has begun. Football Association Training Center, main NFL. There were hundreds of applications for participation in the youth program, but the jury only had to select 10. We need to focus on those who were at the match yesterday. The second chairman of the jury laughed, which means you need to look not at skills, but at the work on camera. They are here for the young talents. It was the singer and football player Nero Fears. A challenge for outsiders, that's the concept. Only the outstanding pass. The rest don't care. Nero will be testing some of them today. The training will be used for a commercial. It should be interesting. Let them arouse interest in viewing. They will try hard. So, we can begin the selection stage of the development program. Today the jury will see if there are any that they should remember. 1 is shy, 2 are playful, 1 is a polite child, a girl, and 1 is handsome. The boy hits well, will definitely attract attention to himself and will not interfere with others. Let them put him on the final list. They'll see him next time. So, there are already a few bright players for the broadcast, but this is not enough. Something special is needed. Then it was Phobos' turn. He couldn't wait to work with them. Primitive appearance and musculature, but at the same time self-confident. No outstanding achievements or records, low stature. Not attractive. Although at the age of a 3rd grader one doesn't particularly shine with cuteness. There is nothing in it that would make other people talk about it. An absolutely unremarkable type. His speech and manners are uncertain and dull. The boy likes football and wants to connect his whole life with this sport. Then if Phobos is good at anything, let him demonstrate his skills. The boy began to concentrate on kicking the ball. It was all so boring. The chairman of the jury had something in mind other than football tricks. Phobos may have special skills, but this is his special skill. Okay, let the kid show what kind of special feature he has. The soccer ball hadn't touched the ground for 10 minutes. Phobos was bouncing around non-stop. So let the boy move away from the jury stand with the ball. Afterwards, the boy moved on to various feints with a sword that Oren had learned. And this boy is quite good. He moves his legs quickly and is so persistent. Phobos must have trained a lot. Not at all. He just stole someone else's talent. Phobos simply began to develop Oren's talent over the past month. Phobos spent all his free time on the football field. It's a combination of the skills of a 24-year-old boy and the talent of Oren's prodigy. What does producer Len think? Is he not suitable? We still have to see. Now the boy has to pass the selection test. Phobos is ready for it. The participant will have to play with Nero. A member of the jury will be on defense. And the boy needs to score a goal. This is a demonstration of ball control. Even if the guy doesn't score a goal, he won't be disqualified, so there's no need to be afraid. After all, this is not an assessment of skills at all. It is only needed for a promotional video. Nero will play more gently with the boy. Phobos confidently ran up to the coach. Literally a second, and the kid got past the adult footballer's defense. Nero didn't even have time to really understand anything before Phobos scored a goal against the coach. And the guy is not just good at maneuvering, he dribbles the ball consciously. The boy needs to be tested again. The coach kicked the ball to the child. It wasn't his imagination. Let him go to the gate again. This time Nero won't give in. He is interested in learning more about the boy and testing his abilities. The movements and deliberation were similar to those of an adult football player. It's funny, Nero is babysitting him, but in fact he is 15 years older than him. Is this kid really a football prodigy? Phobos immediately rushed at the coach, ignoring his defense and dribbling the ball toward the goal line. The boy took a good swing and scored from the middle of the field. What was that? The jury jumped up from their seats, and all of this could have been a rana. The kid realized that he was physically weaker than the adult player, and so he didn't rush into trouble and played more sensibly, scoring from afar. The strike from mid-range was powerful. That's all that was needed today. This child has talent and can become a professional football player. Judging by the reaction of the film crew, Phobos passed the test and needs to show himself on air. With Oren's talent, it was even fun to show off in front of the jury. And what else is to come? Becoming a star in a short time will no longer be an empty dream. It will be his reality. Famous teams will fight for him. As for Drut Cole, who showed the best result on Dory, Drut became a star and joined the prestigious Spanish club Valencia, becoming part of the elite. Phobos wants to join Barcelona and maybe Real Madrid. Here the boy's fantasy was interrupted by the coach's voice. Something had happened. So it means the boy knows who Nero is? That's very nice. Phobos recently saw the coach on a music show on TV. By the way, the boy plays football very well. He definitely has talent. Yes, but it's not his. Nero himself extends his fist to him. And the boy likes his new life more and more. And this is just the beginning. Nero is also involved in the program, his older brother taking over as director. The child's parents called out to him. Where is their boy? They've already lost him. Parents welcomed the youth program coach. It felt like mom and dad had seen the young man somewhere before. This is Nero Fears, a singer and football player, also known as the White Cat or Leroy. The parents are so sorry that they didn't recognize him right away. It's okay. Their boy plays football very well. Nero came to tell him about it. A father is always interested in watching his son. Maybe he will be able to go abroad. This is the first meeting between Dad and Nero, and they have already found a common language. The coach hopes that the boy will achieve good results in the future. Nero wishes him luck and patience. The parents thanked him. Phobos also wishes the coach good luck. We need to look at his talents before he leaves. Relief muscles, gentle vocals of a ballad singer, an interesting set. These talents have nothing to do with football, which means Nero made it on his own, thanks to his diligence. But what should Phobos do with this set? Although it won't hurt. Could the coach show the boy protein supplements? They are necessary for an athlete. After all, you need to work on your body's capabilities and its endurance. Nero even blushed with pleasure. Everything went according to plan. Phobos attracted him. Phobos is still too young for protein supplements, but it won't hurt him to find out for the future. This is a favorite phrase of fitness enthusiasts, and it was with its help that Phobos got Nero interested. And is it possible for the coach to show the boy a couple of exercises? You need to practice together for 60 minutes to copy the talent. The trainer pulled out his protein shakes and various nutritional supplements from his bag, and then he showed Phobos several exercises to improve blood circulation. Afterwards, the boy kicked the ball around the field a bit with his coach. Both are exhausted. There is still a little time left for the condition to be fulfilled. So Phobos will choose the relief muscles, where they generally saw a football player with a gentle voice. The guy feels his muscles getting harder. This will come in handy. How can a father thank a coach for the time he spends with his son? No need. Nero doesn't have any training on his schedule these days. It's just a joy for him. This hour was very pleasant and entertaining, although Nero does not like children. For the first time, the child showed interest in fitness and healthy eating. 2 weeks later, the phone rang in Phobos' parents' apartment. After that, the father happily threw his son up. His boy did it. I can't even believe it. His father is so proud of him and congratulates him. Phobos is like on an endless carousel. He's going to throw up now. What joy there is in their house. At least someone has achieved something. The Football Association called and Phobos passed the selection audition. The boy will remember this moment. This is the first step on the path to his glory. Phobos was added to the list of active junior performers. Mom needs to hear this too. Their son actually passed the test. And the association will even pay for his upcoming performance. They will become rich. And soon their child will have a fan club and requests for advertising. How wonderful. Phobos knew he would be chosen, but he was still happy. This was his first achievement in 2 lives. This will be his first appearance on television, and he will be part of the main cast. The parents are already counting their future fees. But Phobos is not very concerned about money. Fan clubs, advertising contracts, it's all unimportant. He has one goal, football. Wembley, New Trafford, Camp Nou, Santiago Bernabeu, football stadiums all over the world will recognize it. But football is more important than all the broadcasts, so the boy will return after training. Every football fan dreams of becoming like Messi or Ronaldo. Phobos dreamed of doing at least a hat trick due to a lack of willpower. The most basic, juggling a ball. You need to throw the ball with your foot, and don't let the ball touch the ground. Even Maradona started with this. This exercise requires a lot of concentration and practice. The boy is out of breath. He is not used to working, but he will not miss such a chance. His skills are improving every day, truly a child prodigy. In the afternoon, the guy goes out onto the field and trains his endurance. At its core, football is a battle of endurance versus skill. And even for technicians, without endurance it is nothing. But balance is needed in everything. You can't overdo it and harm the young body. It still has to conquer the world with it. Phobos ran 8 laps, that's enough, he will conquer Dory. The body will be the most resilient, flexible, and technical. It will select all the talents necessary for this. After his first victory, the boy was filled with determination. Phobos went to bed early so he could train every morning at 6 o'clock. To improve his flexibility, he stretched for 30 minutes every day. His height was 170. But if you try, you can stretch to 180. After school, there was training straight away. Phobos ate healthy food. And all this was repeated day after day. He would not allow himself or others' talents to turn to dust. He will develop and improve them to become who he dreamed of. Before the boy knew it, the first day of filming Dory's match had arrived. This would be the first experience of this kind. But he wasn't even nervous. How is the boy's mood? Ready for his first match, of course. The introductory match is about to begin. Phobos has been waiting for this for so long. Phobos' team will be confronted by the guys from the Bon Marno Academy. These are the giants of Korean football, and the boys immediately started warming up. Let them not feel sorry for the children. They need to make Dory feel amazed. This is the best academy in the country, so the victory of Dory's children is not considered. When Dory loses, the audience's heartstrings will be touched and they will sympathize. Although if Dory had put in the effort and won against Bon's monsters, it would have been better. After all, the promo video with this crazy kid became a viral hit, and the coach noted the talent of this boy. We need to focus on him. A goal from this kid would have been a wonderful finish, but unlikely. It doesn't matter how talented he is. Football is a team game. And his rivals are the young elite of Bonn. Even playing for everyone, it's not enough. It is too unattainable a goal, even if it is spectacular. Everything is ready for filming. Let the producer give the command to the camera crew. The youth football teams shook hands before the match. The crowd of football fans and loving parents of the juniors roared. The broadcast from the football center begins, with comedian Ben Doon and presenter Stone Kenu reviewing. Children's football teams took to the field. The Dory Club will be playing for the first time. Dory will be able to learn from his opponents today, real masters of football. The introductory match is started by Dory's team. They are given a handicap. The boys immediately rejoiced. They would be the first to have the ball. The coach's whistle blew. The game began. Dory versus Bon Marno. Who would expect much from a children's game? Rather, the match is expected to be cute and awkward. However, this time will be special, because one of the children is an adult. In the body of a 10-year-old boy, with the experience that comes with adulthood. The ball flew into the goal of the trained Bon team at lightning speed. The comedian and the presenter stared at the football field in amazement. They had already filmed it. In the very first seconds of the match, a goal was scored from the midfield line, and his blow was powerful beyond his years. Producer Len broke into a smile. This is what is needed for the broadcast. Let the operators focus on it. Where is this kid running? Why is the film crew frozen? Let them run after him. You can't miss a second. Let them film it. Phobos jumped up demonstratively. What is this psychopath doing? Is he working for the camera operators or something? Phobos Myrtle player scored a goal from the middle of the field in the first second of the match, after which he let out a cool victory cry. He simply stole Ronaldo's future celebration. Not every child can do this, and what a goal celebration he has. This is a winner's pose. I could put it on all the airwaves right now. This is the first time a child has had such a blow. He is definitely 10 years old, as if he has the experience of more than one generation. Didn't the association say that Dory plays at the level of a child in the yard? The coach's name was Charette Van. He was a legendary player in the league. The guy has good balance, but his body isn't strong enough to throw hard punches. However, everything indicates that he has innate abilities. Charette was a legend and a good coach, so he could see the potential right away. In addition, the child understands his weaknesses and knows how to hit with such a body. Explaining the technique of striking is not difficult, but it is useless for children. They will not understand. It is impossible to achieve this with practice alone. He is a natural-born footballer. A full disc player scores the third goal. The gap between the teams is now 3-8. The prestigious team scored the last goal. The guys worked hard. Their teamwork is good. Maybe Dory will be the same in time. This stadium is smaller than the real one, but its active zone area is quite large. Phobos managed to get out of breath, even though he had been training his endurance. But this is not enough. Other children give much more. The boy from his team wasn't tired at all, because football is fun, and they still call Phobos a psycho. Another child got hit in the face by a ball. Now the pain will go away. Team Dory is disappointing. They play terribly compared to Phobos. Even though in the past, being an adult, Phobos did not even reach the level of these children. Now he has other people's talents. He needs victories. He needs to make a name for himself. He can't handle 6 on his own. Bond's team kicks the ball. Here, the player Phobos takes control of the ball from his opponent. The guy is approaching the gate, and why did the opponent suddenly go on the defensive? The coach told Bond's team to concentrate on player number 7. This is primitive football, no matter how talented one of the players is. Even a phenomenon cannot be defeated alone. Phobos bypassed the line of defense. The presenters' faces were distorted with amazement. Was he raised by ninjas or something? What kind of tricks are these? It's like the ball is stuck to the player's foot. The goalkeeper didn't have time to follow Phobos' movements at all. Good swing, aim, and a powerful strike on the opponent's goal. And at the end, the brazenly stolen signature goal celebration. Here it is, a personal cocktail of success. Phobos is like a crane among chickens. Someone else's talent and the experience of an adult come together. And then they have no equal among children. Appearances are deceiving. The match is over. The Bonamarno team won by a score of 14-5. Phobos collapsed exhausted onto the grass. He didn't regret anything. Yes, his team didn't win, but the guy made a name for himself and will wait for a response. At this rate, he will very soon become the most talked about person. Today, the Bon Academy won another victory, but they are not the most talked about ones. The star of the match was Phobos Myrtle, who scored 5 goals. Maybe the young player wants to give a short interview, but he has been waiting for this all his life. How he feels after the match, Phobos is still hungry, stealing the legendary saying again. So what? Phobos stole everything and the glory will be undeserved. His parents are so happy for him. What does the star child want for dinner? His favorite food. Phobos wants chicken. Chicken seasoned or fried, half of each. The coach of the Bona Academy intervened in the conversation, and here comes the first observer. So he came after all to recruit the young talent. Phobos was waiting for him. The coach introduced himself. He had been watching today's match from a professional point of view. Mom knows Charette Van very well. She has seen him on TV so many times. Her son put on a great show for his trained guys today. It was beneficial both for his students and for the trainer himself. Her son's skills are impressive, and these are not just words. The coach still gets goosebumps. So the teacher thanks the boy for the show. He had a great time. And why did Charette call himself a teacher? He blurted out automatically. The coach wants to be honest with this boy. He wants to teach him. What does his mother think? She appreciates Charette's interest. But is Phobos really that talented? The academy will assess his potential, he will become an athlete, or he will leave football as a hobby. So the coach's conclusions may be premature. However, Charette cannot help but say that the boy can become a football genius. This is highly unethical. But the desire to raise Phobos does not leave Charette. Which football academy is the boy currently attending? This is a mistake. Her son never attended a football academy. What? Charette was dumbfounded with amazement. His eye twitched nervously. And who taught him to play? Phobos played with his father as a child, but it wasn't training. The coach didn't misheard. That is, such talent grew up on its own in the field. Then do the parents ever think about making a professional player out of him? If it benefits him, they will be happy for their boy. If a coach thinks their son has talent, they will think about how much the training costs. It depends on the assigned class. Phobos will probably have Class C right away. The main requirement for Class C is talent. If it is absent, then the child is in Class A. In Sector A, children wait in line for their turn to be recruited. 3 lessons a week cost 120,000 won. You can split this amount. This is a prestigious academy. If my son needs to go there, then it's decided. Her boy's minimum fee is 40,000 won, which doesn't cover the expenses. But in the future it should pay off. So now the mother is even ready to get into debt. And it will be possible to pay for the training later. That is, how is it? Phobos will become the greatest football player and pay him 100 times more. Where did your son get this from? It's okay. Football requires that kind of courage. This means that Phobos is an obedient and caring son for his parents. That's right. Mammon didn't give his parents such a chance, so it's his turn to rescue them. Then let the kid promise something to the coach. From now on, they work together. Of course, Phobos could never have dreamed of such a thing before. He would never betray his teacher. The academy has a system called Special Talents. It is designed specifically for such children. It is like a scholarship. And they have a vacancy. Charette strongly recommends the boy. But that's not all. If Phobos shows significant growth, the academy will support it, paying for studies abroad, communicating with professional teams, because there are restrictions that prevent one from becoming a global player within the country. Sounds great. The deal is done. This is the right step on the road to glory. In that case, let the parents bring their son for the test tomorrow. If Phobos joins them, it will already be an achievement. He will definitely be made a special student. Everything is going according to plan. I just need to focus on football. Now it's a profession. Judging by everything, every player on the team is at least a C-class prodigy. Oren's talent is much greater. He was called Little Trent Wool. The coach has a talent for detecting others. This is not something that will help Phobos, but there will definitely be someone special at Bond's academy, and he will steal the new talent there. So the son met with Charette Van. The father should have taken a day off, but his boy met a celebrity. The father is so happy. Phobos had never seen his father so inspired and happy. The reluctance to pursue his son and the consolation at the bottom of a glass brought him so many experiences. Dad ordered the best pizza that they are advertising now. It's so nice to see that parents are proud of their son. His son entered the football academy. He deserved it. Their family had never eaten pizza before, but now the father ordered the largest size. It smells so delicious. The cheese is so sticky. Let the little star eat it. Phobos never asked for pizza against his will. He understood his parents' financial situation from childhood. Why is pizza so delicious the guy can't stop? Is it really so delicious for my son that he should not forget to chew and breathe? 9 days later, Dory's match was broadcast on the channel. Phobos' freshness and emotions allowed him to take the first step towards fame. Phobos has just started, and everyone will find out about his incredible talent. The father congratulated his son. He was accepted into the Bond Academy as a special student. Mom burst into the room. Let her husband quickly see what all the panic is about. They urgently need to take advantage of this. What happened? Their son has a fan cafe, and there is a whole blog written about it. Their son is incredible. No other adult has ever achieved such success. The number of members of the fan club is more than 200 people. The article says that Phobos will be the next star after Trent Wool. This was supposed to be the future of Oren, but now it is for Phobos. But not all comments were positive. South Korea has high hopes for football after a golden age. Despite the decline of the Korean team, people were waiting for a new hero to emerge. This is what it's like to be the center of attention. It suits Phobos. The boy was happy despite people's criticism, but his father was furious. Many wrote that this was all a script played out to create the hero's image. The head of the family shouldn't waste his time like that. They're just jealous. Phobos agrees with this. Their family is simply incredible. And those people are not capable of anything. That was their family in the past, but not now. That's right. Their little star is wise beyond her years. Pathetic, envious people. It's normal for any celebrity to face hate online, especially for athletes, but one day he will shut them all up. The next day, Phobos arrived for the Bond Academy test. Some talented guys, C-rank prodigies, powerful C-class passes, C-rank penetration into the opponent's flank, a menacing spiral penalty kick from C. They will all lose their uniqueness. He will take away their talents. Finally, it's time to select new talent. The second life is simply fabulous. Phobos was kicking the ball around on the field, his mother watching from the stands. In her arms, his little brother, Il Myrtle, was screaming, "There's his little brother. He is doing great and will soon make their family rich. What a cute little boy." There was some woman standing behind. Apparently Phobos' mother was here for the first time. So she's the mother of that rookie from Dory. Everyone's talking about him. It's okay if a stranger addresses her informally. In life, Phobos looks better. He learned the t-shirt earlier. My son didn't attend any academies, but he played with a ball since he was a child. There's no need to be modest. They can get to know each other better. But it's true. What does her husband do? Probably a former football player. He works in a company. So Phobos' father is the owner. Not at all. He is a very ordinary manager. How interesting. But can Phobos' parents afford such an expensive education? Their child is a true genius. His talent will soon become a world treasure. That's why Phobos became a scholarship recipient, and his parents don't have to pay the academy. Why is it that only her child is a scholarship recipient with such luxurious conditions? Because her son is a future star of the football league. The woman herself watched his game and knows that he is incredible. A rich husband is a source of pride, but raising outstanding children is even better. The boy's skills have improved again. Oren's talent is limitless. Many had Maradona's skills as children, but failed when they moved up to the senior team. Since theory, practice, and technical growth are not in harmony, then talent is wasted. Class C trains the best. Ball control, passing, dribbling, these are basic skills. He learned about stretching for injury prevention, positioning and movement. In physical combat, you need to focus on the shoulders, not the collision. Or get the ball first. There are just as many basics and subtleties. Phobos must run after the pass. He needs to develop the habit of moving. This is the only way to develop the habit of moving away from the ball. It's about moving and positioning without the ball, knowing where to be to score a goal. The guy's application states that he wants to become a striker. Scoring goals is the most fun. There must be a clear goal. The movement must serve his interests. Useless movements must be kept to a minimum. If you don't have confidence in your actions, just look at great football players. Phobos was curious about positioning. It would fill in the holes. In the past, he thought that dribbling and shooting well were the most important things in football. But movement off the ball is also important. This class will be the key to everything. Not only is the teaching top-notch here, but there is talent as well. How many children are there who could have a great future ahead of them? It's as if Phobos came to a supermarket and doesn't know where to start. That kid has a formidable C-rank free kick, so he'll start with that. And Phobos won the penalty shootout. We need to take a closer look at what other talents are available to him. This class is no longer worthy of stealing talents. We need a team of E3. She will be at the tournament. It would be ideal to find the current champion and steal his talent, but for now we have to make do with what we have. Then Van Gro himself approached the coach. How are things from his steps? Is it really him? But why is the footballer here? That's a fairy tale of luck. Van Gro, train, Triceratops, football's weapon, its embodiment, a talent thief's dream. The eldest son of Asia's greatest striker of all time, Bon Marno. Why is such a legend in a children's academy? Van is also incredibly beautiful. It's a pity that Phobos can't steal his beauty. A twist of fate or a simple coincidence, we need to find out. So Van is leaving for Leverkusen at the end of the week. It was then that Van received a love call from Leverkusen, where his father played, and will soon make his debut as a professional. We can't waste this chance. Phobos needs the talent of this genius. Fast running, faster feet than a pass, strong build, need to play 500 minutes with him. He has Y-rank talents, which means he has unique talents. He must steal such gifts at any cost. Without them, he will not move forward in the junior league. Father asked Van for a favor. He needed documents on youth competitions. Van has been through a lot and looks tired. He should relax before leaving the country, massage or stretching. This is a chronic condition, but massage can really help. Van has an important day ahead of him, and a petty thief has intervened in the footballer's conversation. And what is Phobos doing here? And why is he looking so greedily at the trainer's friend? The guy wants to give Van something, so the kid recognized him as a football player. Despite the careful cover, he apparently heard their conversation. Let the genius footballer take this. Well, okay, so what? Wen took a small bottle of liquid from the boy's hands. It was Baku's. Phobos couldn't buy Eurus. He didn't have much money, but let Van take it. Baku's is great at relieving fatigue. What non-childish knowledge. Everything is going according to plan. Phobos made a good impression. Let Van remember him. He is the future of Korean football. Is the boy really that good? Van will be surprised when he sees him play. If the coach says so, then the boy really is unusual. Maybe then the boy wants to play football with Vin. This is exactly why Phobos staged this scene. He needs the talent of the legendary Van. The effect of the Baku's is really impressive. Van relaxed. Phobos was barely breathing. He needed to steal someone's stamina. The kid hits the ball well and reminds me of Yen. And who is this Yen? This is Van's protege. His name is Encaret, the same one who will move to the Premier League in the future. In the biography, Lon took care of Ian like a son until he went to study in Australia. A football legend is right in front of Phobos' eyes, and he can take credit for it. The coach praised Phobos and carefully prepared a drink for him. Football players should solve their problems with football. Ven hasn't forgotten about his father's orders. He's not here yet, and Lon saw Phobos. Not yet, but the director will not ignore such talent. Van's father could have taken him in and raised him. And Phobos is going to become a professional football player. For this reason, he made a deal with the demon of greed and steals other people's talents. Such funny children appeared when Yenu was 1 year old. His father already tried to work with him. Phobos wants what this N has. Let Wen take him and raise him. Let them take him instead of Yen. And to hell with the promise to his coach, who paved the way for him here. The boy has a coach. That's not how it's done. Players should be loyal to their teachers. Phobos almost ruined the impression he had created with his greed. You have to be careful. Phobos wants to be great and train with Van. He looks like a child. You have to blink and beg until Van gives in. The coach will survive Phobos' betrayal. He needs more. The coach will take care of Phobos. What? Van refused him now. Then Phobos wants to go visit Van. Where does such impudence come from in a child? His parents will be worried and Van is mostly busy. It didn't work. Then there is only one thing left, children's tears. Even Van can't stand such manipulation. So where does Phobos live? Anyang Gyeonggi province. In that case, Van has a great idea on how to help him improve his form. The mother apologizes for her son's insolence. Where did he learn it in the first place? She's so ashamed. Van's father often takes care of the children, so it's already a habit. The training will be for an hour for a month. His house is nearby. Van runs in the evenings. Wen also lives in Anyang, so they can go jogging together. The manipulation worked perfectly. Now they will train together. The next day, Van was already warming up outside, waiting for Phobos. The boy had time to warm up and get his blood pumping before running, so he was ready. In this case, you can start jogging. It's an awkward thought, but Phobos owes Van a great deal of debt. Within a week, he fulfilled all the conditions and copied his talents. The speed at which Van kicks the ball and runs is hard to imagine. His legs are faster than the ball, which causes problems with balance. It takes 30 days to fully copy a talent of this level. But Phobos will wait and take everything. Besides, these are useful connections for the future. This is his path. Why develop his own skills when there are already other people's talents? Phobos already feels how close he is to his long-awaited greatness. Time flew by quickly. Training, filming, and so on in a circle. Dory's coach was arrested for gambling, but the show's ratings continued to rise. A 17-year-old child prodigy uttered a phrase that created a furor in Korea. Just one phrase. Remember the name Wayne Rooney. After Ronaldo, another star player appeared. Phobos grew up watching Wayne's rise, and his greed grew with it. The day of the NFS Open Youth match arrived, and Phobos was nervous. There are Football Association staff and sports journalists here. The father appeared out of nowhere and told his son to show these envious people. Those kids are older, but Phobos will still play the best, right? Of course, the son stole the talents of a football legend. No one is his equal here. The son is just like his father. Keep it up. He will definitely become famous. Phobos' movements became more abrupt, as if he had changed his style. Observers have noticed significant changes in the young star. Many argue that the game was just a stroke of luck. So who will win today and become the main star of the match? Today the game will be with a Brazilian club that gives birth to many legends. Sao Paulo Football Club, these guys are much stronger than Bona, Titi, Leonardo, Cafu, Rivaldo, and these are just some of the legendary players from there. Their club came to Korea to participate in the World Youth Championship. Producer Len managed to organize a match. It will be a bomb. They will manage to overcome the 15% audience rating. Phobos doesn't care about the team winning, he just wants to show off Van's new talent. It is impossible to win against Sao Paulo. They are older and 20 centimeters taller. However, Phobos should definitely take a closer look at these guys. There are definitely geniuses there. Douglas Costa is going to be the next Brazilian star. He's fantastically fast. And Costa never misses. If the ball reaches him, it will inevitably end up in the goal. The coach said that if Douglas scores 10 goals today, he will be taken to an amusement park. He recently scored 5 goals in 10 minutes, a speed that you won't find at his age. This is exactly what the kidnapper needs. The perfect trophy for today. Sports car legs, child prodigy, genius. We need to be able to prevent his goals. And to be able to beat him in speed. What a delicious talent the boy has. Costa will be able to score without any problem. There is only one guy on that team who knows how to play. Carlo Fun, coach of Sao Paulo. This team doesn't even have tactics. The coach called 2 guys over. Douglas should relax, considering the match a warm-up. There's a big game next week, but Costa is a promising player. So he has to show himself, and Kale Pode has to concentrate on the player. Kyle will be in the defensive position watching that attacker. The boys don't quite understand why they should focus their attention on a minor. This is a good opportunity for the player to learn something new. To learn from a 10-year-old child. A beginner. Is this some kind of joke? The coach had already been watching the newcomer. His students would also have to face the unexpected. Kyle will know what his coach means when today's game starts. Besides, if the boy doesn't miss a single goal, he will also go to the amusement park. This is a typical 8-on-8 game. The playing field is much smaller than theirs. In the center of the floor, the tactic of hunger ball must be implemented, and the goalkeeper must watch for shots from the middle of the line. They must not let these kids win. Only one of them is different, that unprepossessing and short boy. It will be easy. Either score 10 goals or not concede any. The amusement park is definitely waiting for them. They will do it with ease. The match between São Paulo and Dori begins. This is a historical game for juniors and younger beginners. Sao Paulo is on another level. They don't run aimlessly at the start, and they pass the ball in a circle. That's what makes them world-class players. They go around the center. Westerners are stronger and taller than Asians, even as children, which gives young footballers a significant advantage over Asian players. Brazilians are not as tall as Europeans, but they have athletic and agile bodies. That's why Brazilian football is called sambo. It's a difficult and instructive game. The guy's base is small compared to their rivals. They have a lot to learn. Number 9, Douglas Costa breaks through, dribbling the ball. He extended the first touch for a long time, destroying the defense with his incredible speed. And he runs to the target in a second. Incredible talent. These boys are just terrible, and the first goal is looming. But the ball didn't go into the goal. The goal was stopped by Phobos Myrtle. He needs this talent. Costa's shot was blocked, that's what it was. Douglas turned to face the unsightly player, and the brat blocked his shot. A nasty grin appeared on the thief's face. His speed would soon become his. This brat was just lucky. Douglas doesn't even know how lucky. Phobos ran around the field throughout the first half, intercepting the opponent's ball. Costa should have scored 2 goals during this time, but now he doesn't even have any shots. To hell with it all, this brat needs to play his position. Douglas called out to Phobos, asking why the attacker was here. He didn't understand the question. Phobos is a striker, so he forgot about his goal. Something's wrong with the boy's hearing lately? Douglas said something. Afterwards, a disgusting grimace appeared on his face. Costa won't score today. What he said was that Phobos should get all the glory, and did not intend to share it with anyone. It seems the boy is beginning to understand why the demon of greed chose him. For the first time, Costa felt humiliated. He couldn't score a goal because of the striker. The brat will play too much. The coach told him not to overdo it, but he won't tolerate this. His team is in control of the game. Kyle is on defense. They will beat him. If only they knew they were playing with a current adult football star, Van Gro. More precisely, they resist his talent. Kyle managed to intercept the ball. Pode's player passes to Douglas Costa, and the ball approaches the opponent's goal again. Junior team goalkeeper Dori hunkered down, protecting his face instead of the goal. This is the perfect setup. If Costa intercepts the ball, he always scores. However, Van Gro's quick feet brought Phobos to the ball within a couple of seconds. That damn brat again. What is he doing at the goal line? Phobos intercepted the ball from Costa and moved it in the opposite direction. A striker is serious now. Why spoil the game for others? Costa was always polite, unlike his peers, but he won't give in to the younger one now. With his fast legs, he will quickly catch up with the brat, but why can't he? Among children, he has no equal in speed. He is an absolute champion in this. It feels like this is not a child at all, but several adult football players in one. What kind of absurdity is happening now? Such a gap simply cannot exist. Player Costa was seriously angry at the little thief. Before this, his strength was long-range shots. Now he focuses on dribbling. The newcomer rushes towards his goal without hesitation, greedily kicking the ball. It looks like Van Gro dribbling. That's his dribbling, you fools. And very soon Phobos will absorb other talents, pushing aside even Gro. Kyle is a football prodigy with a B-rank one-time interception. Master C-rank ball block must succeed in single breakthrough. In the future, Kyle will be part of Real Madrid in the positions of defense and midfield. He will lead the Brazilian national team. Or rather, he will no longer lead it. Phobos will take his innate gift and make it his own, only he will become the greatest football player. His main position is a defensive midfielder, a Marcelo of the next generation. A top-notch defender will become primitive thanks to Mammon. Snot is really fast, but he can't win a match alone. Kyle waited for the right moment and rushed to intercept player number 7. Wait a minute, the defender intercepted the ball. Where is he then? What, this little kid broke through Kyle's defense. He's still dribbling the ball. Phobos doesn't use any fancy techniques, just a simple kick and run. However, the Sao Paulo goalkeeper didn't even have time to notice how the ball ended up in his goal. This kid is just a monster. Who raised him and what supplements did they give him? Despite the prestige of Sao Paulo, the kid managed to score a goal against them. It's simply incredible. The presenters underestimated Dory, and here is the future of South Korea, who is his coach. So this short guy overtook Douglas Costa from Sao Paulo. Dominant in both attack and defense, these are the perfect subtitles. And he even broke through Kale Pode's defense, and he is a master of midfield. Interest in football is gaining momentum, and there are no more vacancies in academies. And all because of him, player number 7, an inconspicuous and short boy. He is an example that football is available to everyone if you work hard. As expected, Van Gro's unique talent is simply unmatched. Phobos is essentially a fake in the football arena, but who knows? So far his game is below average, but Phobos is still happy. Today the boy will dominate the entire field. All eyes will be on him. So the boy will choose the talent of a football prodigy. The coach cannot allow Costa's situation to worsen before the tournament. The coach will replace Douglas Costa on the pitch today, and that's why. The guy just didn't feel well and wasn't ready. He will play better. If Kostya is unwell, it would be better for him to rest on the bench. Doug got some valuable experience today. Let him think about it on the bench and show a better result later. What can Costa learn from the Asians? He is a Brazilian who will become a star of the national team. What did Douglas say? He immediately pressed himself into the bench. Let him listen carefully. For such racist remarks, the coach would have given a red card at the very least. And if he is unable to recognize the skills of others, then let him watch as a spectator. And look reality in the eye, Kyle also learned something today. Phobos continues to break through at tremendous speed. Sao Paulo is trying to combat the aspirations of a younger player. How can you even play on par with adults at that age? Kostya turned 12 this month, that's right. Ronaldo made his professional debut at the age of 14. Doug knows this, and then he understands where the coach is leading his thoughts. The only ones who will accept Costa's deaf behavior are his fans. But it takes skills and serious achievements to have them. This kid has a speed of dribbling and muscle strength that is beyond his age. Something is wrong with him. Carlo Fun led many footballers, but this one is completely different. Carlo has no idea from what hell this monster came, how close he is to the truth. A goal in favor of the Brazilian team Sao Paulo, the goalkeeper exhaled. His face was whole again. Apparently the Brazilian kids are finally getting fired up. They probably aren't used to the cold weather, but it seems like the fans believe in them. Football is clearly not a sport you can play alone. Phobos is tired. But if his team beats Sao Paulo, it will be a great achievement. And Phobos wants to wipe the nose of the next talented kids. The match is over. The Sao Paulo team won with a score of 4-9. The coach is proud of his guys, but that guy worries him. The match was supposed to boost the morale of the participants. After all, there was a youth tournament ahead, but everything went wrong. But there is still an unexpected and promising victory. What does the assistant think about this? He reminds him of Ricardo. Normal running is not that fast, but it's a different matter when he's dribbling the ball. He has a talent for techniques, but his basic skills are weak, which is what he will become when he grows up. This boy is fast and smart beyond his years, and he lives for the game. So this kid could very well become the next star of the football league. Whether he is an incredible genius or an ordinary player, they will have to find out. Their boys' team lost, but it was a great game. Phobos definitely shined. Carlo Fun approached the parents and greeted them in Portuguese. You have to contain your excitement. This is the legendary Brazilian coach. So mom speaks Spanish. She was born there. They don't need a translator. Carlo Fun himself started talking to her. My mother is going crazy now. Whatever Phobos' mother can do for the legend, his father is also at his service. Their son is already a member of some football club. Phobos is like a rough diamond that needs to be polished. That's why Carlo Fun would like to sign a contract with the boy. What is the essence of Kale Pode's talents? 2 of them are defensive second class. And Douglas Costa is a bit of a dilemma. He already has the talent of a child prodigy. That's why it's worth taking away Kostya's sports car legs. He has a similar skill to Van Gro's charge and run. But when Phobos receives a through pass, he slows down and his knees hurt. It would be nice to add a talent for speed and run well. Movements away from the ball are important for a football player. Sprinting is necessary. It's just an incredible feeling, like 100 electrical impulses are hitting your legs. If the deal with Mammon continues, he will become an unrivaled star. It takes 7 days to fully master a talent, but it won't be possible to copy others yet. It's time to develop your existing talents this week. The next interview will be with the little star who scored a hat trick. Phobos is upset that the match is lost, but he will try even harder. So the young player Dory admits the victory of his opponents. Both victories and defeats are important. Phobos achieved his goals. Today the guy played harder than usual. Is there a reason for that? He wanted to prove that he too could score goals against foreign teams. Some people said he couldn't do it. That's his motivation. Haters are the most loyal fans. That's also a recognition. The producer burst into unhealthy laughter, and the boss completely lost his mind. This kid will make him so much money, the release will be a hit. To be recruited to Sao Paulo, you need to pass selection tests. But this is not possible at the moment. Due to the current rules of the PIF, Phobos is still too small. Players can move abroad upon reaching adulthood. There are a few exceptions to the player protection rights system, but none of them apply to Phobos. But he will do it. It is unlikely that he will be sent to prison. It is a disciplinary violation, and Sao Paulo must have a plan to overcome the restrictions if they offered him a contract. Why didn't Carlo Fun approach him personally? Their star was busy with an interview. So the coach approached them and how the parents reacted. The father courageously sent this Brazilian, his son will be a star here. What did he just blurt out? As the head of the family, he forbids his son from crossing the border. How dare that impudent fellow take away the national treasure of Korea to himself? Well, Phobos sold his soul in vain. It looks like it will all end in booze and pussy again. The father himself decided to become rich and famous, since he neglects this opportunity for his son. Dad was joking. He didn't understand a word. Mom was talking to Carlo. Well, Mom dreamed of prosperity. She couldn't do something stupid. If this decision makes her boy happy, then the mother is for it. Now that's a different story, no to a miserable future, but to fame and success. How many football stars were born in Brazil? It is synonymous with this sport. In addition, there he will meet South American talents. Once he signs the contract, he will be able to earn money, but he needs to learn the language. He's not a big fan of sedentary activity, but there's too much at stake. Phobos will start training today, anything for the sake of his dream future. We'll have to wait until the youth tournament is over. And only because of this will it be possible to go to Brazil and taste the local delicacies. And what should he do then? Bond's team is also participating, by the way. There are 16 teams participating. It's a buffet. The championship starts in 5 days. He has a chance. But there is a problem. Pain in the knees. He overdid it today. Success also lies in physical strength, which allows you to use skills. Even Ronaldo received injuries to his hips and knees. It is important to prevent them. What's wrong with her boy? Don't worry. Phobos' legs hurt a little. Maybe the boy is just growing up. Phobos might stop. If your son is having a hard time, there is no need to hurt yourself even more. The most important thing is health. Everything else can be fixed. How much one misses a mother's care in adult life, it immediately warms one's soul. Mom started massaging her son's knees. Parents should also take care of themselves. Well, my mother has magic hands. The pain has finally subsided. Young Korean rookie scores goal against Sao Paulo. And this is the most prestigious Brazilian football club. Korea is proud of it. There is a week left before the tournament. It will be difficult to add him to the roster. Coach Bon Marno, a legend of Korean football, reminds him of his eldest son as a child. The guy really does run at Van's crazy speed. The boy is very smart, but he plays with the wisdom of an adult. Bon needs to see the boy himself. The lesson will take place tomorrow. Phobos and his mother stared at the Korean football legend in amazement. He will hardly ever be ready for this. The Titan of Korea himself. So the kid knows who is in front of him, and who doesn't know that? The greatest goal scorer, firing goals like a cannon. And such a person strokes Phobos' head. He won't wash it for weeks. His mother will forgive him. Let Phobos' mother pass by too. Why is she frozen? She needs to at least nod. So Bon Marno will decide whether Phobos will participate or not, based on the results of the test. Her boy definitely has talent, and most importantly, a love for football. Judging by the satisfied expression on his face, her son had already agreed to all the conditions. If the child is happy, then the parents are happy, right? One test, and Phobos will have his fill of other people's talents. And here is the I3 team. Phobos sees adult players for the first time. Why is that guy so tall? He's like an oak among birches. A C-rank football prodigy, tall and a confident leader of Class B. Interesting talent. He will have to play on a full court. 11 on 11. This boy's talent is so delicious, Phobos would have eaten it up under different circumstances. So, a serious match is coming, and its difficulty will increase each time. But the coach had prepared a strategy based on Phobos' newly acquired young talent. It won't be easy. Their team was told to use the 4-2-2 technique, the distinctive feature of which is the breakthrough of two attackers. That is, as an attacker, Phobos must break through in time. In other words, a poacher, like Filippo, Ronaldo, Nistelrooy, Hodo, focusing solely on scoring goals is called a goal poacher. Bon Marno himself is watching him. He is obliged to prove himself well. Usually he plays for everyone. But now he needs a team to give him a pass. Are the rest of them deaf or something? Let them pass here, what idiots they are. Why does everyone treat him like they know he's a fake and ignore him? They could have given him a pass. Well, they asked for it themselves. Phobos will do everything himself. He will take the ball even from his teammates. He has his own goals. And to hell with everyone, Phobos caught up with his comrade and yelled, "Come on, give the ball away quickly." What was that? Why was everyone staring? Did they come to the gallery or something? And this kid clearly has a bad character, and so far it's causing laughter. Bon has earned the trust of the team in Germany by showing what he is capable of. Happiness in football comes as soon as the ball is there, but there is a risk that it will be taken away. And this guy just lives for it. The ball is his happiness. Let the redhead go away. This is a ball for Phobos, and the little one knows that they are on the same team. What is this psycho doing? You can't take the ball away from your teammate. Did the snot learn the rules of the game from cartoons or something? He doesn't give a damn about the rules. He ran away from death, so he's already a seasoned criminal. Why is the shorty so fast? What did they fill him with this morning? And this very device must be stopped by the other players. Everyone get out of the way. Phobos will kill them. Let them feel his greed for heads. Well, somewhere right now, a familiar demon of greed is rejoicing. So the opponent's surrounded. Okay, Phobos will pass the ball to that long sequoia. Let the tower hit the ball with its head. It has the correct angle of impact. The tall player, in one rare move, took the pass with his head and blocked the ball. The ball went straight into the opponent's goal. One condition is ready. The boy also needs to be tall, at least 180 centimeters. Hennis Noor, every football fan knows this name. He is a special player. Dubbed the Korean Zlatan, his main weapon is his height. He will grow to 190 centimeters. For a Korean, this is incredible. It gives a huge advantage. Talent is innate. It is more difficult to steal, but still possible. In the meantime, we need to fulfill the necessary conditions for copying the talent of the Atlas. Hennis Noor took another pass from player number 7 and scored a goal. And these two got along great, but Phobos will still take away his talent. So the boy scored a goal and made 3 assists in the first game. What does he like more, passing the ball or scoring goals? Scoring against the opponent. Then why pass to Hennis? The guy could easily have scored from that corner himself. It's all for the sake of the general team spirit and to win people over. It's a lie. He will then move on to the competition class. Bond's L-rank hips, leadership, spotting prospects, and understanding B's techniques. There are also hidden talents. What a treat. Greed just spurs him on. And why is the guy looking at the director so greedily? Phobos forgot himself. L means legend. He has never seen this rank before. It is divine food for his body. What you'll recognize about Bon Marno is his hips. His speed surpasses Van with the best physique in history. Bon Marno is different from all the others, as expected from a legend. Sao Paulo invited Phobos, and before that they took their player and handed him over to Flamengo. This is a great step for further career development. He received an offer. Phobos will go to Brazil, of course. It's not easy. It takes hard work. But talent requires visiting different countries. When the guy goes abroad, they will keep in touch, in case you need help in a foreign country. Phobos focused on team training and bonding with the guys, and he continued to help Hennis. His position changed. From poacher to second attacker, the second helps the first to go, contributes to the game's score, needs to master dribbling, breaking, and passing. Phobos needs to take the initiative, but not pull the blanket over. The young man and his tall teammate perfected their combination. It was a great pass. No, it was a great shot on goal. Hennis and Phobos' tactics are almost perfect. They should reach the quarterfinals. The newcomer quickly integrated into the team game, which should bear fruit in the match. Their opponents are the Dutch and Portuguese teams, the strongest teams in Europe. This is the last team training session. Now it's time for the warm-up. The first condition is fulfilled, the second remains. He will get a high growth. The Youth Championship begins. The commentators welcome everyone. The first World Youth Championship to be held in Korea. Players take to the field. Match between the Polish national team and the Bonamarno team. What a pleasant feeling before a match, an intoxicating anticipation. Even the grass on the field is real. He feels like a real football player. He could see Lewandowski since they are playing against Poland. One of the best strikers in the world along with Suarez and Kane. Polish legend, what a shame and what a pity. It's sad that the boy can't see the future hero, but he will be able to enjoy the treat. Let the boys work hard. He needs to get a good look at their skills. Lewandowski's talent could change everything. Youth match begins. The Korean team has a chance to win because they have Phobos Myrtle. Nobody knows what the newbie's secret is, but there is clearly something living inside him. The Bona team's 4-2-2 formation allows them to cover the entire field. Poland has 4-2-3-1 for the use of physical abilities. The crowd of spectators and the team's substitutes roared in warlike tones. The Polish team must tear Marno's team apart. Poland go ahead. 5 midfielders pass the ball and dominate the field. Leading striker Bona hid and waited for his moment. The ball was passed from a great distance to Todd Kaczynski. The defense was broken. It turns out that while they don't have the ball, they can compete one-on-one. What is the 7th player from Bond's team doing here? He is a striker. The snotty kid really thinks that the Pole will allow the ball to be passed to his teammate. Phobos Myrtle began to bypass the opponent's defensive line. What is this shorty doing? He doesn't even have the ball under his feet yet. Phobos was called out by a teammate and made a pass with his foot. An excellent pass. Why are the others standing there? Let them stop player number 7, he's already close. What was that? The guy knows that this is a game, not a battle for the Korean peninsula. The opponents didn't even have time to figure out what this psychopath was running. In the 7th minute of the first half, player Phobos Myrtle scores a goal. Just look at these faces. The opponents clearly didn't expect this. The Bon Marno team confidently began to take the game's results to their advantage. An incredible goal scored in a sprint of almost 60 meters. It's hard for the hosts to convey how they feel, as if they are watching a new chapter in Korean history. Who the hell is this hellish little guy? He's definitely 10 years old. He's like a bazooka that was brought to the competition. The player from Team Bon has problems. He is being pinned down by opponents. He can pass to Phobos. Player Myrtle receives the ball and races towards the Polish defensive line. Player number 7 received the pass, but he too was surrounded, making it impossible to pass the ball. Phobos shouted to Hannes to run. He should run to the point. The Bonamarno team changed their initial strategy after the first half. Hannes did a great job, and Phobos predicted his movements. Player number 7 runs the other way, dribbling past the Polish midfielder on the left flank. Academy newcomer Marno breaks through to the opponent's goal line again. Now Phobos has a choice, to score or pass the ball. If you pass it, it will be a perfect pass. But Phobos loves to score goals, an unexpected strike from medium range. The goal, to create space and then score so suddenly, it's amazing. This kid is incredible. Korean football has a bright future. The new strategy fit perfectly with Phobos' stolen skills. His mid-range shooting talent has improved and performed well. If you put in the effort, you can surpass a true talent. And who after this will have time to write that the matches were bought and that it was all a script? There is a new star on the football scene. Let them remember the name Phobos Myrtle well. Hat trick, second goal, Poland is put in its place. The stands roar with delight. The kids can't even imagine what kind of demon is controlling the field. Why did Phobos stop passing to Hannes? Well, they need to win. Once Bon's team is guaranteed to be the winner, they will continue. Let your teammate wait a bit until they have a decent lead. Second half, 12th minute, 14 minutes left in the game. Player number 7 scores another hat trick against Poland. What this guy is doing, what chains he has been unleashed from, it is beyond the pale. Perhaps Phobos Myrtle will be chosen as the tournament's golden ball. Opponents now only watch Phobos after his hat tricks. The pass will be too long, and the defender is already here. Things are not going well. We can pass to Hannes. He is open. If only the giant had done everything right, Phobos would have passed the ball to Hannes. And the player Hannes Noor scores a goal with a header, a stunning sight. A superb pass. This is the 4th goal of the Bonamarno club. Hannes pointed to the stands, so this goal was for his mother. Such a sensitive and good son. You need to pay attention to your mother. She will be pleased. Phobos turned his gaze to his own, who gave him an approving thumbs up. It was a great teamwork. That's how you play football together. Life is lonely, but football unites, and Bon's team won. Phobos Myrtle led her to victory. How does it feel? They won thanks to the joint work of their friendly team. Quite a mature answer. Maybe the newbie has something to say to their viewers. Phobos will become the best football player in the world. Let everyone root for him. What is he talking about? Why is he being so self-important out loud? It could have a bad effect. In a tough game with Swedish Djurgårdens, Bon's team won. And then there was a draw with FC Porto. It was difficult. Phobos and Hannes scored back-to-back goals against Paraguay in the quarterfinals. Finally, the semi-final against Japan, who finished second in Group A. If they win, they will travel to Seoul to the Sangam Stadium. And 3 FC Bonamarno against 3 Japanese national teams. The match has begun. That guy is Japan's key player, Kagawa Shinji. Football talent B, fine sense of the ball and movement off the ball C. You need to take the ball away 5 times, but Phobos is a forward, not a defender. So he would have to play a free role, he called out to the Japanese star. Kagawa is already dead. What kind of psychopath is he? We need to take the right position. A free role is a style of play that allows you to move freely around the field. Well, forward star, wherever he goes, Phobos will catch him. In the 7th minute of the first half, the Japanese team is already picking up the pace. The Bona Academy team is still unable to take control of the ball. Team Japan is dominating the field. Their opponents need a strong push. The ball is passed to Kagawa, and player number 7 immediately appears behind the player. Why is this crazy guy so attached to him? What does he need right during the match? The striker can come in so easily. He has strong legs and a strong punch. But this psycho won't be able to take control of the ball away from Kagawa. The coach roared. What the hell? Phobos left his position. Player number 7 knocks the ball away from Kagawa and dribbles it the other way. What the hell is this lunatic doing? He just intercepted the ball. When he becomes good at defense, let him counterattack. These are all the skills of Kale from Sao Paulo. The precise interception of the ball by B. The striker, not even a midfielder, intercepted the ball from Kagawa so easily. Shinji has never been so humiliated before. Why can't he stand up to him? When? It's as if Kagawa is playing with several players at once. Phobos has fulfilled the second condition. All that remains is to win the match. By the end of the match, Kagawa will be howling from Myrtle's persistence. Now you can focus only on attack. He's just a machine. The Japanese team's coach told the players not to let this mad little guy get through. You have to be careful with his long throws. You can't give him the opportunity to hit. What did this psycho think of? A pass, a ricochet. Phobos passed the ball. A deflected pass to Bekwufu. Phobos heads towards the space in the back. Player Bona breaks through to the goal line again. He is unstoppable. And a strike from medium range. The ball flies straight into the Japanese goal. However, Japan's goalkeeper Forbanji managed to block it. This goalkeeper just blocked a shot from a current soccer star. Hennis jumped on the ball and made his trademark header. Hanusa's header puts Korea in the lead. After that, the match became one-sided, with Japan only defending. The game is over. Bond's team wins with a score of 3-0. In this match, Phobos demonstrated skill not only in attack, but also in defense, and the Korean team reached the final of the youth tournament. They only need one win to win the championship. Germany's next match is against Sao Paulo. The winner will play the Bonaparte boys in the final. The Brazilian team lost to German Spenghalt with a score of 4-0. It's hard to believe that the Sao Paulo Titans couldn't do anything. It's strange that so many players are taller than 170 centimeters, like high school students. With a build like that, he won't be able to keep up with them. Today, in the match with Japan, he acquired the talent of Kagawa. He is already the 8th. All that's left is to run around with Hennis to decorate his growth plate. The petty thief was called out by Kagawa. Next time he will win. After which Shinji shook his hand. This is courage and honor. Phobos was never like this. Kagawa played well, but even a child like him can't handle the adult stars. Seoul, Sangam Stadium, Korean team Bona against German team. The game has begun, and it will be the toughest of all the matches, as expected from the final. And these guys have been stretched since birth. They are really long. But the main problem is this guy, Tolger Batshidver, is the future of Germany's defense. Gifted in football and excellent positioning in defense B, skillful interception S. He is so tall, he feels like an ant next to the tower. It's the 15th minute of the game. Spenghalt is in the lead. They are just Yetis. Tall players simply block the shorty without any opportunity to do anything. They are targeting Phobos. This is their tactic since he is the leading player. Even after stealing so much of someone else's talent, there are still those who are better. Oh well, Phobos will tear them apart. Another goal for the German team. And another goal. Germany is gaining momentum quite quickly. 3-0. It's still difficult to compensate for a difference in height of 20 centimeters. Phobos tries to get to the central position. But then he runs into Tolger, letting the giant advance. Why is it that the little one won't be able to go any further? Phobos is the best, which means he will set up Tolgera and remove him from the race. Tolger flew to the side, Phobos demonstratively holding onto his shoulder. The referee gave the German star a red card. Everything worked out. Tolgera was disqualified for the cause. Phobos was almost killed. The opponents are standing very relaxed. They don't even take Myrtle into account. Now all that was left was to score. The goalkeeper tensely took up his position. And the curved ball flies straight into the goal. This strike will announce Phobos. And the Bona Academy team scores its first goal. And again, someone else's talent paves the way for him. A graceful free kick from S. The game is over. Germany wins 3-1. But it was foolish to expect a different outcome of the game. Phobos did what was necessary. This is Phobos' first loss in the tournament. He needs more talent. The World Youth Championship ended with a victory for Germany. Phobos was chosen as the best player and received the Golden Boot, and 4 million won. In addition, he stole Hennis's growth plate. Now he has 9 talents. Phobos already has a whole army of fans. Here's the glory. Everyone praises him and idolizes him. It was always meant to be this way. He is finally in his place. That warm, fuzzy feeling, that's what it's like to be the best. Let his fans rest assured that the guy will not let their faith down and will reach the top. The beginning of the stellar path has been laid. He will become the greatest and win all the championships. Let the boss move quickly, but the traffic light ahead is red. When a driver thinks about football, which country comes to mind? Brazil, of course, and Phobos made it to the Brazilian youth team. Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's incredibly hot here. And in Korea, it's the middle of winter. The Myrtle family was already awaiting their local escort. A couple approached the family. The girl's name is Maria Chanwei. She is the eldest daughter in the family where Phobos will be staying. This is Sao Paulo's local support officer, Lucas Kim. Lucas saw the boy on TV. In life, he is so small. They are happy to welcome them. Phobos will stay here for a long time. Vitoria City. Soon there will be a medical examination. For now, you need to rest in the hotel. The boy's room is on the 2nd floor. And who is this goddess coming down? As if an angel descended from heaven, who is this beauty? She is definitely Portuguese. Tall, with big eyes, like a doll. Such unusual captivatingness for Phobos. You need to stop staring. Her name is Monica. She lives next to his room. And she is also 10. So they are the same age. So wait. He is actually over 30, the damn pervert. And here is the young footballer's room. It's so cool. So a medical examination is needed to determine the team. How tall are your parents? My father is 60. My mother is 164. This means that the mother is taller than the father of the new Brazilian team member. Parents should not be confused by the question. Phobos is simply influenced by genetic factors. But teams have a system for managing growth. It's accepted. Why is he yelling like that? It's like in military service. They have test results. Phobos will be able to grow up to 180 centimeters. But this can't be. Maybe if you play unfairly in a team with a demon. Doctors, frankly speaking, are also perplexed. But this is an absolutely accurate result. And all thanks to Hennis. How wonderful it is to reap someone else's laurels. As for the team in the 19th article of the PIF, they understood everything. Phobos just needs to think about football. It's not his concern. He won't stay here forever anyway. They'll sort out the problems. Brazil is just a transitional stage, so many clubs are waiting for it. After basic training, the average score will be calculated. This is the grade required to secure a contract, a passing grade of 6.5 out of 10. If your score is lower, you will have to retake the test next year. The guy will pass the written test easily, but he must not forget to learn Portuguese. Knowledge of the language is also included in the assessment of the average grade, and this was never mentioned anywhere. Phobos is stupid. Their son will be in touch with his parents all the time, so they shouldn't worry. Phobos can handle this himself, of course. He's already an adult. And this is their boy. They will miss him very much. The guy will miss them too, but then a fabulous future awaits them.
If things become difficult for him, he should not tolerate it and let his parents know immediately.
Mom loves her boy very much. Phobos loves her too. He started learning Portuguese and school starts next month. Thanks to his mother, he can understand something in this language. Portuguese and Spanish are similar. Maria gathered foreign children for education, so the studies went faster. Phobos trained unofficially until April registration. Through gestures and body movements, he could understand others. The guy was returning at sunset. It's not as safe here as in Korea. How I want beer, but who will sell it to a 10-year-old? You need to make friends to make it easier to practice the language. Phobos is so sociable, and here is the goddess. She lives next door. Her room is number 10, and the boy's is number 9. The dazzling little girl greeted him warmly. Was she waving at him? So Phobos forgot how to talk. He had to at least hum in response. Maybe she knows Korean ones, although the question is strange. K-pop idols haven't appeared yet. Maybe the guy speaks English a little, but Russian is completely out of place. How I want to be friends with her. But the guy doesn't understand at all. And in Spanish, does she have a translator installed there or something? Phobos' mother speaks Spanish, so a little. Yes, what luck. Her dad is from Brazil, her mom is Russian, and her grandmother is Spanish. That's a mix. Her grandmother chose her name. She's so cool. He realizes he's flirting with a junior high school girl. How many languages does Monica know? Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, and English. But she can't speak all of them as a native speaker. She's incredible. Gymnastics prodigy, even body balance, natural polyglot B, gracefulness S. You can steal her language talent. She's a neighbor, and it will be easy. All the necessary gears for the mechanism of success seem to magically find it themselves. Besides, this girl is so beautiful, as if she came from a picture. Monica is involved in rhythmic gymnastics, and her Russian roots are immediately visible. The coach identified the girl's talent. If she succeeds, she will be sent to Spain. She definitely has talent. Phobos knows it for sure. He's so funny. Then they can be friends. Monica doesn't mind. Time goes by quickly. In between studying and training, he stole Monica's talent. With the start of the semester, he entered school and made new friends. He was the target of racist jokes, but everything in Brazil was decided by football. So a couple of crushing heads convinced the bastards not to do it anymore. His skills stood out from the others, and this attracted the attention of the local guys. In the evenings, Monica trained him. She was a hellish and incorruptible trainer. Time flew by. Here it is, the wonderful life of his dreams. 2 months later, Phobos received 2 more talents and Maria called out to him. How did the exams go, and why are they so tense? With the help of Monica's talent, he received a basic certificate. Now all that remains is to sign a contract with the Brazilian FC Sao Paulo. The manager of the youth team, Bianca Chop, he did a good job. His average score is 9.14. This is simply a magnificent result, and without the deal with the demon, it would have been a dream. 20 goals scored, 6 assists, good lung capacity and muscle strength. In addition, good technical data, excellent growth and development rate. They prepared a proposal that matched his skills. It's not just because of the communication barrier. They will try to overcome it. Coach Carlo is pleased, and of course he is, because this is all thanks to the stars of world football. The weekly salary will be 400 reals, which is 250,000 won. But Ronaldo was already receiving $500,000 at the age of 12. However, this is better than the miserable job of a cashier for pennies in his homeland. Now, the previously incompetent non-entity will receive $1 million a month. He will train and compete for the I3 youth team. And when his name is entered into the register, he will start playing in matches and getting paid. Team I3, it was against her then that Phobos was a poacher. Good bonuses are paid for goals and additional techniques. Plus, it all goes towards his final payment. We need more talent, more money. We need to take absolutely everything. Phobos Myrtle is a real man, who will now say that he is a pathetic waste of life. Maria asked me to tell him to get ready quickly. This is disgusting. And since when has the neighbor been watching him from the window? Monica walked the boy to the car. They can go. The charming gymnast wished him luck. What a delight. Why is he so nervous? Phobos, calm down. You are a grown man. The guy keeps in touch with his parents, of course. He doesn't want to visit them. His parents won't come because of work. He will come himself with the championship trophy. The little guy is not distinguished by modesty, and he has 3 global goals. Steal absolutely all the talent of Brazil's promising players, and naturally win the league, then move on to the I-15. Cool training area and mini-game field, you can train daily. Even in bad weather, players can improve their skills without wasting time. It is also the largest training complex in Brazil. St. Pauli coach Emily, nicknamed Mom, can call her at any time. And indeed, how lucky these talented kids are. Such a passage corridor. It feels as if he is going to a real championship. Phobos's new teammates were already swarming on the football field. The training session starts in half an hour, but everyone is already warming up. It is true that his grade point average was over 9 points. These are not rumors, fools. They are faced with a fake, and yet they are so delighted. The guys are being cautious. They play in one position, so they move because of such a newcomer. All the children here play as if it were their last time, as if they were on a battlefield. Here are the two main stars, Douglas and Kyle. And what is that nasty little guy doing here? Did the coach really invite this psycho to join their team as a striker? He came here to rob these idiots. He must become the greatest. Phobos couldn't take everything from them then, and he will do it now. Let the talents go to daddy. He was pathetic all his life, but wanted to be great. Now this nasty guy is on the same team with them. The kids feel that something is wrong with him. Perhaps thanks to this psycho, their team will improve its ranking in the league. But you have to be careful with him. It's not clear what kind of demon lives inside him. The team is in 7th place and they don't have a good striker. That's why the coach took him. This is their chance to create an invincible team. And Kyle noticed that in a couple of months the shorty had grown by 15 centimeters. He noticed it too, and it's not normal. It makes me shudder. What do they focus on more? Tactical preparation or teamwork? The training starts with the basics. Nothing surprising here. But something is different. They follow the Brazilian educational philosophy. It differs from the Korean one in its pressure and constantly increasing tempo. Structured but unobtrusive, Phobos will not neglect learning. There are various interesting programs, although it is difficult for him. He has done a lot of basic exercises, but sometimes passing the ball is difficult. The snotty kid passes disgustingly. How many times has he already failed? Passing is not just about hitting the ball, it's about balance and posture. Maintaining balance is critical to proper transmission. The center is shifting and the passes are unstable. He has to feel this moment himself. The answer is always the same: practice and more practice. Phobos Myrtle has talent, but his fundamentals are very weak. Endurance is his main problem. It's not even at the level of I3, maybe peroxides in a lower team. He needs help. On the contrary, it is their responsibility. The guy has been playing for 6 months. Given his talent, they should give him time. In terms of development, he will make up for lost time if given a chance. There's a lot of talent in the league, but for now the guy will stick with these. Of course, Douglas Costa. What happens if you copy existing talent? Team training takes place 3 times a week. This is Doug's place. Let him take his position as shadow striker. Phobos doesn't want to. He needs to score a goal. The brat masterfully gets on the player's nerves. That's his role. Every player must follow the instructions from the coach. What is this show-off about? There are rules. Here the whining child's wishes don't matter. Everyone fulfills their duties. Phobos doesn't care. He needs to be the center of attention. They'll have a race with Doug. There are those who don't know how to stop. How nice it is to ruin the lives of talented kids. The boys lined up at their marks and waited for the start command. Phobos has his talent. If only Douglas knew who he was essentially competing with. On your marks, set, go. Doug wins, but Phobos stole his talent. That nasty brat is almost as fast as him. What's wrong with him? What forces does he call upon for such a hellish transformation every time? Douglas knows how to recognize talent and is not greedy, unlike this degenerate. Let him take his place if he wants to. He deserves it. Just let Doug pass the ball to him. He'll score all the goals for him. Amazing freak. Team training was the most difficult after all. He is greedy for attention and success. And there are so many talented guys around. We need to adapt and play as one. Finally, Phobos fulfilled 2 conditions, and the child prodigy's talent doubled. Now practice will decide everything. Regardless of the situation, it is important to maintain posture. The coach corrected Myrtle's problems with his center of gravity, which significantly affected his game. That brat started playing much better, as if he was a completely different person. That's right, it's their beloved Douglas playing, not Phobos. But Phobos will gain worldwide fame. Dribbling is not just about moving your legs, it's about moving your whole body. As a single unit with the ball, the center of gravity is maintained, so you can win in terms of physical parameters. He can't immediately apply the coach's advice, he needs to feel it. And during his training, the guy felt them firsthand. It can take forever to learn football, but Phobos will do it. It's time to steal Kyle's talents, they will play for the crown. Minigame: a person holds the ball for a certain time and becomes the king. The loser follows the king's orders. Kyle is the best defender on the team. This brat is kind of rotten and disgusting, but it's good training. What delicious talents this boy has. For the sake of such gifts, it is worth sweating hard against their owner. Phobos lost control of the ball for 3 minutes, even with the talents of others. How worthless he is in himself. How infuriating these innate talents are. This new guy is kind of strange. He's always mumbling and licking his lips. So to get talents, you need to reach a higher level. That means to close the gap, he needs to run until his legs are on fire. Phobos trained more than anyone else. His unique skills required additional feeding. A month later, he lasted 5 minutes. That's a victory. His debut match for the new team is coming up very soon, and he should shine. He's already so talented, ball blocking will be the next choice. With each new victory, he feels that this is how it should be, but this is still not enough to overcome the talents of local guys and future opponents. and the newcomer apparently began preparing for the league matches. He's growing too fast. It's not normal in every sense. The main thing is that growth can be seen during matches. We should send him to the match in Pakistan, but that's already super important. That's exactly why their new guy has to perform at the upcoming match. The rivals will be the guys from Pakistan. They are in third place in the league. This game is important. Fabia is their key player. Accurate in attacks, excellent in passing. Phobos needs to expand the area by switching roles with Doug. Debut match, first career game, these are the big changes. Finally, the guy feels excitement. This is a completely different level. How long he dreamed about this. Let everyone be envious. Pakistani star wished good luck. All the talents are so polite. But Phobos is not at all. He will clean it out. Legs are B's motors, sharp passes and attacks are C. Standards have apparently been raised by training with Brazilian stars. Yes, his appetites are growing so quickly. But Brazil is enough to satisfy them. Although he is behind in form, he has unrivaled talent. The youth match between Sao Paulo and Pakistan begins. And in the very first second of the game, the Myrtle player snatches the ball from the opponents. This is a completely different child. There is no such lack of system and alien techniques. Dribbling, passing, and defensive skills are identical to those of Doug and Kyle. This guy never ceases to amaze me with the power he wields. Now this kid controls the entire field single-handedly. And this is in a couple of minutes of play. The warm-up is over, it's time to shine, and Doug can watch his glory drain away. The opponents of FC Brazil go on the attack and advance along the right flank. However, the player Myrtle manages to avoid the attack. He crossed the defensive line. However, the newcomer miscalculated his strategy and is about to lose control of the ball. But then Costa intercepted the ball from Phobos, saving his team's situation. In doing so, Costa broke through Fabia's iron defense. What a battle between two young stars. Doug did the hardest thing and passed the ball to the brat so he wouldn't embarrass himself. It's so annoying that even after his talent was stolen, he continues to shine compared to Phobos. We need to block the Sao Paulo player. He is approaching the goal and the shot. And the Brazilian youth team scores its first goal. The first half is coming to an end. The Brazilian FC put on a great show. It was just amazing progress. Within a round, his movements became stable. Phobos has figured out how to play with these guys, and Costa and Pode are damn good at such a young age. The control of the tempo while holding the ball has also changed. It's a different person. Player Myrtle breaks through the center and passes the ball to his teammate Kostya. A São Paulo FC player confidently advances with the ball towards the opponent's goal. Due to the reduction in energy consumption and accuracy, Fabia is depleted. These guys are breaking through Pakistan's defenses again. Fabia needs to get ahead. One more pass. Once again, Costa intercepted and snatched the ball, passing it to Kale Pode. Fabia is too focused on another player. Let Kyle pass to Phobos. Phobos barely made the pass, and that was thanks to his soft touch talent. Now the bomber will score a goal. The ball is flying into Pakistan's goal. However, the goalkeeper instantly blocks the young striker's shot. Well, how is that possible? What the brat is doing is disgusting. The goalkeeper blocked the shot. What a humiliation, because everyone saw it. But no matter. He will get even. The left leg really lacks precision and strength. And how much more does a guy need to steal to grow up to these children? Why do you always have to feel inferior to someone when he will already become unsurpassed? Exhale. He will become the best player in the world, and they will lose their uniqueness. Such thoughts give him a second wind and stimulate his hunger. Coach Fert gone. What is Fabia's problem? How can you lose to a youngster? You need to narrow the defensive zone when the opponent changes positions. It's not Fabia's fault, but they need to adapt to a different game. They barely made it to third place, but they can't lose to Sao Paulo. You need to wait until your opponent is exhausted and attack. There is no point in wasting energy and technique at the beginning of the second half. Phobos saved his energy. Let him use it all in the second half. The opponent changed his defensive strategy. Are they really going to update the player position changes? The zonal defense that the coach talked about. Everyone defends their own zone. They reduce disorganization. But they are ready. The zone behind them is open. The coach of FC Sao Paulo has developed the right tactics. Now it remains to implement them. Player Kale Pode passed the ball to teammate Myrtle. Phobos was immediately surrounded by defenders, but he immediately passed the ball to Kostya. The newcomer runs quickly parallel to the player Kostya, waiting for the ball to be passed. There is very little left. A couple of passes separate them from the goal. Even if they try to block the ball, Phobos won't let them do it. Douglas takes the ball from Phobos again and confidently breaks through to the goal line. The defensive line can't keep up and Costa scores against Pakistan. Costa is incredible and so noble. If only he knew that he was robbing him. Sao Paulo wins 2-0. And now Fabia also has the talent to his credit, a Class C accurate pass. With such a set, talents will grow at a breakneck pace. The coach thanks all the students for their work. It was a great game. Everyone should rest. When it was Phobos' turn to be praised, the coach slapped him. He played great, so why is the coach fighting? It's a tradition for newcomers. Next time Phobos will try even harder for his coach. Phobos returned to the hotel, smelling delicious, whatever he had there. The guy bought some snacks and thought they could have some fun with them. Judging by the happy look and the delicious food, today's match went well. He won today, so he's having a drink. He'd like to have beer, but they won't sell it yet. The boy received extra reals for the game and decided to treat himself to something tasty. Where is Phobos going? What about the food? Let Maria wait for him. He needs to do something. Phobos immediately called his parents. This is their star son. A familiar voice, warm words of support, parental experience, just a fairy tale. Their boy received the Player of the Match award today. Sharing victories with his family is so nice. They rejoice more than him. After Sao Paulo, he went on a winning streak and defended second place. He led the team with 14 goals and 3 assists, becoming their MVP. The team made it to the playoffs, and the championship is expected after that. Phobos and Monica settled comfortably in the living room in front of the TV. Just 2 steps away from winning the league trophy, Christian Ziege scores a goal. The boys shouted triumphantly, "This is a professional game. You can't tear yourself away. I wish I could rob him after all. He is one of Phobos' idols. However, it will be difficult for such a legendary talent to even simply decorate. He wants to meet him. Where Phobos is, Monica already knows. The guy was running around the field with a ball and was noticed by Coach Emily. Good job. Isn't he pushing himself too hard? He's just shaking up everything that's already been prepared. And he doesn't break himself, reaching real heights, when he still trains alone. The rest should be so greedy? No way. Otherwise he will become a nobody again. In his past life he was also greedy. But he turned this feeling into pity. He craved it. The boy still needs to rest. His body needs time to recover. But the coach doesn't want roasted chestnuts. He often snacks on them. What a lovely suggestion. Emily loves them too. It's just like a taste of childhood. The boy ran off to rest. Good luck to him. How delicious it is. What is the director doing here? And Emily's mouth is full of chestnuts. The director decided to stop by here on his way to the office. And what is Emily doing here? A common check before the next national team match. By the way, Phobos treated her to roasted chestnuts, and she is popular. A and 3, aren't they on vacation after the match? Phobos is still training. He has big plans and the playoffs are coming soon, so he doesn't leave the field. A newbie should not overdo it at the beginning of his journey. His talents are developing so quickly thanks to the players in the last matches. Therefore, Phobos does not overdo it in any way. However, each talent needs to be further developed in order to be used to its maximum potential. As their original owners, it can sometimes be difficult to sync with other people's data. But it's not as difficult as achieving everything yourself, so there is no way out. You need to score 30 goals from medium range to rob Bon Marneau. The guy worked on free kicks and goals from this distance. The guy is doing much better, but his technique is still poor. Besides, the center of balance is still not in its place. The boy falls over during his shot, which reduces the speed of the ball and its accuracy. There is so little time left before the match. We need to at least have time to correct the shortcomings. Foyos will clearly have no time to search for talent during the next game. The playoff semi-final match saw Partian win against Palmeiras with a score of 1-0. Will their impenetrable defense hold up against Sao Paulo? It seems that Sao Paulo FC's rivals are in a very combative mood today. You need to block and move along the line, covering your back. They are trying to prevent the ball from being passed to the player Phobos Myrtle. By putting 5 midfielders in the center of the field, they can push the defensive line. His boys will have a hard time today, but they will cope. The opponent took defense seriously. They became more concentrated. But Sao Paulo has a plan, again passing to Costa. He covered Phobos and passed him the ball. If you block their path, they will have the advantage. Only they don't take into account their difference in skills. They know about Phobos' dribbling. Why don't they stop him? It's the same as stopping a speeding car. The opponents understand what to do, but they lack reaction. This brat is like he just came out of hell. How are they supposed to stop him? Meanwhile, the Brazilian striker breaks through the defense with lightning speed. His legs are probably on fire. The Myrtle player dodges the attack. What was this anyway? It's scary to even approach this device. The Brazilian striker breaks forward, just a few steps away from victory. Player Phobos runs to the goal and scores a goal. This is a victory for Brazil. The playoff match ended with a victory for Sao Paulo. Phobos and his goals were the decisive factor. The guys worked great today, both as a team and each in their own zone. Sao Paulo's participation in the championship is confirmed. We can breathe a sigh of relief. But it's too early to relax. Their opponent will be Scotland. The last step to victory, and this is an incredibly strong team. If you don't stop that phenomenal guy, then you can forget about winning. Now the team must learn to block like Alexandre Pato, a football genius who will be hailed as the next Pele in the future. Those who don't know his name don't know the future of Brazil. The boy will lead Milan. In Argentina, it's Messi. In Brazil, it's Pato. He's a unique phenomenon. Pato is now at Corinthians, and is the league's strongest contender for the Golden Ball. He joined recently, so teamwork is poor. And victory in football is in the team. Coherence wins. Stopping Pato won't be easy. You need to focus on his weaknesses. They will prepare as best as possible, first with positional training. Corinthians will play a 4-3-2-1 formation to stop Pato. Block the enemy's second line using the 4-1-4-1 scheme, but the guys won't be able to. They have good defense, but their attack is weak. The enemy will put pressure on Phobos. Their strategy needs to anticipate this possibility and distribute the center. This will be the most difficult match for his students, but also the most useful. The coach has an idea. Today they will win and bring greatness to their team.
The field is a stage where you can show everything you have learned. Let him dare.
Phobos will squeeze absolutely everything and everyone out of this game. Let the coach not worry. Two youth teams lined up opposite each other. The decisive game for the right to be called champion. The forces are not equal. Opponents, like Sao Paulo, will likely bet on the leading player. Football genius and sports car legs of A, soft touch, brilliant personal skills of B. Decent goal scoring from C, the boy who will become the next Pele. They finally met. He is a genius. These talents need to be taken away. But even if Phobos takes them away, will he be able to become like him? They have a strategy to stop the genius. Why is Phobos Myrtle here? The Brazilian striker suddenly changed his zone. Why is there a short guy in the midfield position? It was for this reason that a special secret training was conducted. The coach told me to take the midfielder position. The coach apparently has a plan. Changing your usual positions in the final match is risky, but in Pado's case, it is right. Let him follow him, but what about training? Phobos will be training outside the field. Sometimes there is no way out, and you have to completely rework the script. This was a special training session. Doug and Kyle will be there. Phobos passes the ball to Doug, who receives it from Kyle. The distance between them is large. The ball will enter the side midfield area on a short distance. The winger must receive the pass. Ball distribution drill based on key moments. For several days, the players practiced passing the ball. The coach showed them different passing patterns so they could understand how to act. You need to join the team and practice attack and defense. You need to remember with every part of your body so that you can react in any situation. Everyone wanted to finish the season with a bang, so everyone trained hard. A register that links passes between attack and defense. This is the basis of Sao Paulo's strategy, and Phobos has taken on this role. Pato is too fast, and the team doesn't know how to counter him. But Brazil has Phobos, and the strategy is entirely based on it. Pato is truly the current genius of football, and it will be impossible to resist him openly. No one can match his abilities, but you can outmaneuver this titan with strategy. So Myrtle's game will determine the outcome of today's match. Corinthians coach Fabio Carlier. Phobos was a striker, and now he is in defense. They adjusted their tactics to suit him. Changing positions is a good tactic and suits all players. They were caught off guard. The initiatives need to be transferred to São Paulo. The World Cup final has begun. Sao Paulo versus Corinthians. The Corinthians player has no opportunity to pass the ball to a teammate. So it was time for a frontal pass. The player passed the ball. As soon as the ball landed on the pitch, two Sao Paulo players immediately surrounded it. But the player managed to break through the defense. The ball needs to be passed to Pato. All hope for today's Corinthians match rests on Alexandra. Two teams placed their bets on their leading players. Pato easily broke through the São Paulo defense and rushed forward. And this guy's like a sports car. He has incredible speed. Defender Kale Pode is seriously angry as the player chases Pato. Brazil's players try to run after Pato, but quickly run out of steam. Sao Paulo's situation is critical. Only the goalkeeper is left, one-on-one after dribbling and accelerating. This is Alexandra's signature move. Pato applied the nutmeg. The ball is driven between the goalkeeper's legs, and the first goal goes to Pato's team. Sao Paulo trained so hard to stop Pato, but alas. In the first 5 minutes of the half, this monster scored a goal against FC Sao Paulo. It is impossible to stop him or even catch up with him. How can they fight against something like this? Alexandra is very good at dribbling and running, but never mind, they will score a goal too. They tried to prevent additional goals from being scored in the first half, but they failed. Sao Paulo's defense is weak. Phobos cannot play as an attacker. Before the Brazilian FC players can even process it, Pato is once again dominating the pitch. Kale fails to stop Pato. If Phobos were in his place, there would be a brawl. Pato's attacks are sharp and confident just like him, and Phobos' talent is so infuriating. It's annoying that he's worse again. He could only cover and wait for the opportunity to pass the ball. He and Kyle need to concentrate. It's the end of the first half. Even despite the good pace of all of Sao Paulo, they are no match for Pato alone. The first half ended with a score of 1-0, fortunately. All the players were exhausted, although they should have been saving their strength and waiting. The guys have a feeling that the coach will tell them a lot. So everyone played well, that is, how is it? And where is the reprimand? Let them remember how they gave up a hat trick to Pato and lost. But that's not all. The players were afraid to move. They didn't hear anything wrong, and the coach was pleased with their failure. They lead in the number of completed passes and possession of the ball in the center of the field. In addition, they have control of the ball despite such a strong opponent. This is undeniable proof that training pays off. But they can't do anything with Alexandra even after training. Their team also trained tirelessly to win the championship trophy. Those who demonstrate their best receive trophies, and everyone can train. The guys shouldn't depress themselves in the first half. They should give themselves free rein. Let them enjoy the game and not get hung up on the goal. The coach said something funny. Why is Phobos smiling there? The guy is going to enjoy the game. He will show all the talents he has acquired. Let Kale not be upset. They can do it together. Phobos will support him. Together they can defeat one player, even such a genius. You just have to do it right. He can't be in two places at once. The boys really think they can handle Pato in the second half. The player passes the ball to Alexandra, but then Phobos Myrtle enters the game. The same tactic won't work twice. You should have prepared better. Phobos is confidently dribbling the ball. He feels that they can win. The short guy's movements changed in the second half. He is good at defense, timed the pass in advance, and intercepted the ball. But his plan won't work, Pato called out to his teammate. After which the two Scotland players move on to regroup. Phobos lost control of the ball. He hesitated, not understanding Pato's actions. What is Corinthians doing? Let the brat step aside. He didn't even have time to understand anything. How annoying the kid was, away from his glory. Corinthians' attack has changed. They need to change their strategy too. These two are perfectly tuned, like a single mechanism. This pair cannot be broken through. Sao Paulo will give up on interceptions and ease the pressure in the center of the field. The guys have to conserve their stamina. They are aiming for one counterattack. Meanwhile, Pato confidently dribbled the ball towards the opponent's goal line. Pato's trademark nutmeg. The ball slips between the opponent's legs. Scotland's leading player is constantly followed by his teammates, covering the flanks. Pote appears, but Alexandre bypasses Kale's defense in a split second. The Scottish star is only one goal away from victory. And here is Pato's player at the gates of Sao Paulo. But then the ball is picked up by Myrtle's player. Why is this little bastard here? Phobos called out to the others. The time has come to counterattack, no matter how well you did on the exam. The result is determined by the goal, and Sao Paulo will do everything to score. The players rushed to the center of the field. Kyle formed a defensive line. The opponents began to scatter to the flanks, leaving the center of the field free. What luck. Almost all players began to attack the center. Now Phobos has a chance to break through. The Sao Paulo guys grouped well and were close. Maybe they should pass the ball to Douglas. I thought for too long, it won't work anymore. Corinthians just took up a defensive line. In a normal situation, Myrtle would have passed the ball to Costa and made a connection. But now Phobos can't pass the ball. They've started to put pressure on him and narrow his space for maneuver. Pato's nutmeg, that should work. This kid copied Pato's signature move. Alexandre had previously scored a goal against Sao Paulo FC with this move. What a twist. 20 meters to the gate, he sold his soul for glory. He has a lot of other people's talents. He can't fail. The Brazilian player confidently breaks through to his opponent's goal line. Will Corinthians withstand his onslaught? Exactly 6 steps to the goal, a kick with the tip of the foot from medium range. The Brazilian team scores a goal against Corinthians. The teams tied the score, and it looks like neither of them intends to give up the victory today. It's just a lucky coincidence, a waste of time for Corinthians. Pato will finish the game. The player Pato is really angry. He crosses the center of the field at lightning speed. Alexandra breaks through the defensive line. Kale hits the leading player from behind. The whistle blows and the referee sends Kale to the bench with a red card. Sao Paulo were furious. What was that? Kale was rightly taken out of the game, but he managed to prevent a goal. It was definitely intentional. Brazil decided to score at any cost, even dirty. Phobos Myrtle dribbles and breaks through to the goal line. The ball is knocked out by Pato. A fierce battle ensues. If one of the teams falls in this attack, it will become decisive and the match will be over. A Sao Paulo player makes a return pass. Myrtle takes control again. But will he make it to the goal in time? The opponents are about to counterattack Brazil's leading player. Costa receives the pass and returns the ball back to Phobos. The Myrtle player kicks the ball. Let it bring him the trophy. Let them win. But the Corinthians goalkeeper parries Phobos Myrtle's curling shot, leaving the score unchanged. However, that's not all. Phobos and Pato continue their confrontation at the goal line. And then the player Costa comes into play and hits the ball near the goal. He scores the winning goal. What the hell was that? Where did he jump out from? The stands roared with delight. It was a victory. It was a spectacular match, with Sao Paulo beating Corinthians in the final minutes. Phobos won the championship, albeit with someone else's help. But what difference does it make? The cup is in his hands. Myrtle would never have thought in his life that the dream of universal glory would actually come true. No one will ever know that he is a fake. In this life, he will enjoy his fame to the fullest. So, based on the results of the championship, we need to choose the best scorer in the I3 League, and who will get the golden ball. The golden ball will be given to Phobos Myrtle. He is from Asia. This will stimulate local motivation of the residents. This kid amazes with a combination of different techniques and styles from different footballers. Incredible year. Korea won the golden ball. A kid in the second division scores 40 goals. We are talking about the phenomenal Dimar. This kid is already eagerly awaited in the first division. Award ceremony. Pato became the best scorer of the championship. Myrtle became the best striker. The winner of the Golden Ball nomination is FC São Paulo player Phobos Myrtle. Along with the trophy, a substantial cash prize of 3 million won was also awarded. But the real reward is not this at all. He stole Pato's genius. It is doubly pleasant to rob this bastard. With each theft, it will be more difficult for all the gifted to reach Phobos. Soon there will be no one better than him. This Pato's talent was already high. He became an A rank, having absorbed other B rank talents. With 30 days left until Myrtle becomes the best player in Asian history. He is so proud of himself. And very soon he will be able to share his joy of victory with his family. He misses them so much. By the way, the youngest record in history was set by the Argentinian Rowe. He will have to move over. Phobos is going to beat him, so it's pre-season. This is a turning point in his football career. You need to train even more, but don't overdo it and save your energy for the main thing. The Sao Paulo club gave him a free plane ticket home because Phobos is the best. And now Phobos will be grabbed by the most important people in his life. What a wonderful day. He hadn't been to Korea for so long. It felt like an eternity. And here were his parents. When his boy managed to grow so much, is dad crying or something? The younger brother has grown so much since they last met. Today Phobos will sleep with his brother, otherwise the next time we meet he will already be driving a car. When he goes to school, Phobos will already be the greatest. Everyone will envy such an older brother. His younger brother will of course be his biggest fan. It must have been hard for my son, but he worked so hard to succeed and change so much. Parents should not worry. Their boy has an inner strength that will conquer this world. Phobos ate his fill of home-cooked Korean food, which he missed so much in Brazil, and now he's definitely home. He also began to tell his younger brother about his genius in advance. And I even received an invitation for an interview right upon landing at the Korean airport. In the fan club, they wrote about some kind of promotion of Myrtle. What are you talking about? The son has a minute, the parents have a question. What is this bag lying in the hallway? It's so heavy. Father has already tripped over it 3 times. Phobos keeps all his awards, trophies, and prizes in it. And also an incentive of 5 million won. This is a gift to his parents. He is grateful for their patience and love. Their little star, his parents knew he would become famous. They are so proud of him. The parents are so happy and will hardly be able to sleep tonight. Their eldest son is home again. But he is already completely different. The next day, the mother opened the bedroom doors wide, letting her boy wake up quickly. 5 more minutes of sleep. Her son doesn't ask for more. And Phobos didn't accidentally call Coach Bon Marno. Phobos passed out immediately after a hearty dinner. His snoring could be heard through the wall. This was probably a mistake. Not at all. He called right after the championship. And Coach Marno wanted to talk to him about something important. Congratulations on the return home of the young Ballon d'Or winner and the championship victory. And Phobos already has an additional schedule for his club. He already does. This simplifies the issue. Bon Marno had already told his father about his desire to send him on an expedition to the Tree of Dreams. And what is that? This is a project of the Dream Club to organize trips abroad for beginners. This is a great experience and opportunity. All players under the age of 13 will form an elite group for major tournaments. And it's okay if Phobos suddenly joins them, of course. The coach left a free spot just for Phobos Myrtle. What an honor. He really wants to join them. It's good that nothing happened during the off-season. There will be not only a game but also training, watching matches with star players. So there will be a smorgasbord of select football talent. Simply delightful. And who will his team play against? The expedition will begin in Germany, which is a strong debut for the newcomers. This country, by the way, has a special meaning for Coach Marno. And it is a paradise for young talents. Airport, departure of the participants of the 30-day expedition. Time to get acquainted with the talents. Of the 14 participants, he was the only one studying abroad, which attracted journalists. There will be 2 friendly matches between the boys, and there will also be youth tournaments. Frankfurt, the training ground, looks like a station. It's so cold here. It's simply incredible that they raise Terminators here. Such a serious instrumental base. Phobos thought that after Brazil he would go to Spain or England, but it's not bad here. Niemes, Neuer, Kroos, Müller, Götze, Zahne, Kimmich, Hummels, Boateng. It would be so cool to meet at least one of these stars right here and steal their talent. Then a ball flew at the boy's head. What happened just now? It wasn't very welcoming. What a familiar voice. Wait, it's Van Gogh, and his second chance to steal his talents. In just 1 year, the little guy has grown so much. It's hard to believe that this is possible with his genes. Van needs to move to a prestigious club in the league, and it is very difficult to survive there and not lose the initial momentum. It was all thanks to the fatty food in Brazil that Van didn't even recognize him at first. The boy visited Brazil. It's all thanks to Gro, because it was thanks to his talent that he got there. And he also lifted the championship trophy. He became who he is because of Van. So Gro had some talents improved and even got a new one. He didn't waste any time. The conditions for obtaining new talents have become much easier, apparently due to Pado's gifts. Talents are innate and acquired, but he spent his whole life feeling sorry for himself and doing nothing. But now it's all his. Van's new product will come in handy next season. Everyone is so happy every time, but Phobos robs them, and he will also take away the new talent, by the way. The match will take place in 4 days. The boy watched the group I3 and trained himself. Myrtle got to know the other team members better and saw the talents of each of them. But he wasn't particularly pleased. They hadn't seen each other for a long time. This was the big guy, Hennis Nur. What a meeting. Myrtle didn't know that they were on the same team with Hen again. And Phobos had grown so much, it was amazing. And this is also not his merit, but Hennis himself, by the way, and it helped a lot at the championship. Now he is almost not afraid of all the big guys. His legs have become faster and stronger due to his growth. By the way, does Nur happen to know a guy named Unit Zarate? I haven't even heard of such a player. The unit was supposed to win the Bonamarno Football Award, so the future had changed. He changed it. Because of Phobos' actions, and it will change again. He will become the future of all football. The long-awaited match, and here is the catch for today. A worthy talent has been discovered. The boy was unlucky. Beniel Mafara, a typical striker with a height of 180 centimeters. A football prodigy with quick feet and a powerful C-rank header. If he scores a powerful header, he will have an advantage. The kid is just like Marno as a child, which is the best possible compliment from the legendary coach. Phobos's movements are super fast, like a speeding leopard, and his grip is as sharp as a blade. He is truly a predator among the other herbivorous players. What kind of force drives this child? The first goal went to the Bonamarno Academy team. The second condition for the theft was met. Now it's time for the real game. Myrtle has done well and is in great shape. The stands and the substitutes of FC Sao Paulo roared with delight. Keep it up. Korea's future is so bright. Van's father is just a sniper. When will Phobos be chosen for the national team? Myrtle may even break the record for the youngest player, but no one knows for sure. But my father must feel it. He himself was a football legend. Even the king of football, Pelé, could not predict the future. One can only think about different outcomes. But I have a good feeling about this guy. He clearly has some kind of superpower. A lazy genius could achieve nothing. But he always gives his all. Less than 10 minutes into the first half, Phobos scores a goal. His dribbling and mid-range shooting have improved in a short period of time. Goals from that distance seem useless in a game for his height, not for solo practice. If you prove yourself, you can achieve a strong B-rank hit by the end of the off-season. Second half, Frankfurt tries to counter-attack in the first minutes. Myrtle used to bounce between defense and offense, but now he's focused on attack. This guy conserves his stamina. He doesn't need to expend his strength. Need to prepare for the upcoming game, passing the ball to the player Myrtle. Perfect footwork and C-grade rhythmic flexibility in action. And the player Phobos Myrtle quickly breaks through the defensive line. The rest of the Sao Paulo players began to feel more confident as they looked at their leading player. It feels like the football is simply stuck to the feet of the young prodigy as he dribbles the ball like a pro. What was that just now? At what speed was that Boeing flying? That kid is about to kick the ball with his left foot. You need to intercept the kick. But it was a trick. The opponent falls. Last year it was the same with Phobos. Myrtle felt it when he faced the German Schwenkfeld, a gnawing defeat. The team may be different, but the guy wants to take revenge on the Germans for that time. He won't be worse again. Then he again felt worse than others. Let them feel it well too. The player has grown a lot this year, but it didn't happen right away. Body feints, dribbling and balance. How much training did it take to perfect such a simple movement? The goal-scoring training was just as long and grueling, and now it's time to reap the rewards. Crazy hat trick. Who is this damn psychopath and what should the opponents do with him anyway? Myrtle scored again, but his skills after Brazil are not up to par, so what the hell is going on the pitch? It's not a matter of natural talent. He clearly has some kind of superpower. And this shorty has also grown much taller, and in such a short time. What kind of monster is he and how to defeat him on the football field? Beniel Mufara scored Frankfurt's first goal at the end of the half. But when the final whistle blew, Team Dream had won, 4-1. If they were to choose the best player, it would undoubtedly be Phobos, he is sure of it. But he got something more valuable, a powerful header from C and a strong physique from B. He is overflowing with energy. He has 16 talents in total. But this is not enough. And it will never be enough for him. He needs to take all the talents of the German players. And one day Phobos will receive absolutely all the gifts that exist in the world, and will become invincible. There will be no more of this nasty feeling that someone is better than him. Mammon will take care of it. Bayern, South Germany, Munich, they left their luggage at the training camp, and the whole group went to explore the local sites. The schedule allowed it, and the accompanying parents fed the kids after the match. Why is my son so picky? Phobos is such a smart boy. He eats everything. Here's another hot dog for him. However, these mothers are trying so hard because Myrtle will soon become a star. So they are trying to make friends. This is definitely the birthplace of hot dogs. Now he really feels at home in Germany. Munich is called a toy city, and it really does look like a doll's town. The rest of the players are planning to go to the museum at noon. It's not for him, Phobos passed. It's better to lie in a hotel than to go to boring museums. In his second life, he's also only attracted to football. Did they really say they would come watch their next game? A player named Gabriel Batistuta nodded, his role model being Bon Marno. Bastian Schweinsteiger scratched his head. He really is that outstanding. He is a legend. Due to his young age, Basti probably doesn't know about him, but Gab grew up watching his matches. And anyway, they were planning to meet today, and this is his dream meeting. Yes, he is a crazy fan. We need to quickly take a look at the dormitory in Building D. He is so nervous before meeting his idol. Although Gab himself has already established himself, this player evokes a special thrill. And this is who is standing there. Gabriel called out to the boy. Phobos threw him a displeased glance as needed. So stop, it's Gabriel Batistuta himself. What is he doing here? And Myrtle glared at him with such disdain, the star player right next to him. Versatile midfield commander T, unrivaled header C, rank A, ambidextrous. A leap to the sky, steely physical strength, incredible ball control, and active work of A. Where does he get so many talents from? He is incomparable with others. Does he steal them too? And how can he manage to combine training in the team, tournaments, and also fulfilling so many conditions? Unlike others, there are many restrictions in the conditions, but his talents are the most desirable. Batistuta grew up watching Marno play and knows every one of his victories, which is especially nice from a talent like Gab. He seems genuinely nervous, even though he is now the most famous player. A legend is a legend. When Phobos meets Ronaldo, he will be the same. More precisely, no. The most famous players will approach him for an autograph and worry. But to do this, he needs to steal all these phenomenal skills. T apparently stands for title. Perhaps this is the talent that describes Batistuta. But we will have to wait until adulthood. If you buy it now, you can get Gabriel's sense. Phobos had been told earlier that intuition was no less important during a match than technique. The talents and ranks are simply cosmic. You need to score 5 goals in 4 continental tournaments. It's very difficult. But it's too early to give up. You need to do everything possible. There will be no other chance. And this is the young winner of the league. And 3. The future generation means. The kid even won a golden ball. What a cool guy. Gabriel was pleased to meet him. And what about Merdlu? His talents will become his, and he will be better than Batistuta himself. Now the guy is just at the beginning of his career path, the glorious days. So how to become better? Gab said something in a foreign language. Phobos did not understand anything. Marno laughed. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Is this a dig at Phobos or something? So Gabriel knows something about the deal with Mammon. What was meant? Let them not remain silent. If the boy wins the match, Batistuta will tell him his secret to winning. 2 days later, in the Munich match, player Finchen scores the first goal against the opponent. He scored 2 minutes into the game, and Phobos needs to score at least 5 goals. Their defense is average, but their attack is no joke. You can't just break through. Because they have Thomas Müller on their team. He won the Golden Boot at the World Championships, the goal machine that led Germany to victory at the World Cup in Brazil. Tall, special techniques. But at the same time, every game he plays is based on intelligence. Football genius and penetration into space, eh? We need to rob Müller too. And the Myrtle player breaks through to the goal line, bypassing the opponent's defense, and kicks the ball. However, the goalkeeper easily blocks the shot. What a shame. Phobos won't have time to carry out his plan. Phobos broke through the defensive line and hits again. But what a curved shot for a goalkeeper. But Phobos's ball suddenly flies away from the opponent's goal. How could he miss? What the hell? He was supposed to score a goal. Why can't he concentrate? It is because the guy was distracted by Müller that player Thomas Müller scores a goal. The game ended 5-1, and it was a crushing defeat for Myrtle. He lost for the first time in a match. It is not known when he will play again against Munich. Why is he forced to endure the taste of failure again and again, even after taking away other people's talents? The opportunity to steal the incredible talents of Batistuta and even Müller has been missed. That feeling again. Feeling inferior to others, the buffet was amazing, but he didn't even finish it. Untalented people became equal through talent and will. But he had everything on a platter. But even this is not enough. He is an absolute non-entity. Even demonic power did not change that. Phobos began to feel sorry for himself again. The others tried to cheer him up. That happens. Why was the guy so bad? He wasn't himself. He still had other people's talents. The flow of self-pity was interrupted by a teammate. Phobos was called by the coach. But the boy doesn't know why the coach needed Phobos. Not only him, but all the team members. He is giving a briefing on the schedule of the Youth 4 Continental Tournament. The tournament starts next week. All the guys were excited. What's going on here? Are these really their first opponents in the tournament? What luck. They'll finally be able to get even. Who are their first opponents, Munich, who recently tore them to shreds? What luck. The guys intend to destroy them, and this is Phobos' last chance. If Myrtle scores 4 goals in the next game, he will take over Batistuta's talents. In addition, you can grab the talents of this Müller. This freak will no longer look down on him. The next morning, special training began, and we had to go back to the basics again. Corner kicks, free kicks, and penalties. The training focused on standard skills. Phobos worked out every feint, but his actions were paralyzed by the fear of another defeat. That guy stands out from the rest of the group. He has the most greed for victory. Myrtle has done very well, and Marno believes he is the future of Korean football. The keen gaze of Marno's coach did not hide the depression of his protege, wondering what was wrong with him. The trainer called out to Myrtle what was going on. He looked worried and distracted. Phobos continues to train, but does so as if by inertia he has gone out. Something is wrong with his game. There are too many thoughts in his head, and his body doesn't obey at all. That's why the guy can't even perform any of the basic skills well. That is, the legs get tangled, and the body does not move the way it needs to. Everything is exactly like that. How does the trainer know this? Phobos doesn't understand the reasons, so he is very upset. He can't be better. Or maybe the thing is that the talents of others inside him cannot take root in his insignificant body. The thing is, he thinks too much. He needs to turn off his brain. The match Bayern versus Hamburg. The Munich guys are definitely good. Phobos agrees with the coach, but what are they doing here? The guy needs to grasp the reason for the masterful control of the body. There is no doubt in their minds that Hamburg, despite their talent, fell before the might of Bavaria. In addition, the Munich fans are something else. He has never seen such support before. While Hamburg are just dragging themselves around the pitch as if they are not capable of playing at all. That's why you need to clear your mind before the game. The tension from thoughts bothers the body. and the body becomes tense, movements become confused, so the person cannot compete. You just need to play football and not think about its possible outcomes. Phobos is so pathetic, he can't even psychologically withstand competition, but he's aiming for the world pedestal. But here everything is correct. Myrtle was so afraid that he couldn't score a goal. He felt pressure and couldn't cope. And he still needs to score 5 goals to rob Batistuta, which also hampered him. And what to do with this? And what are the options here? Just play football, enjoying it. Football is essentially a fight against anxiety, and it is the only thing that can help you overcome anxiety. But Phobos cannot calm down just because of the coach's words. His heart must be pure. The mind should be clear and the body strong. One should nourish the other. In the past, he only whined about his dream, without doing anything for it. In the new one, he has everything. And you just need to not be afraid to take advantage of everything that will lead him to his dream. A week passed. The new year arrived with heavy snowfall, and with it a second chance. The first game of the Youth 4 Continental Tournament has begun. And the first rivals will be those who destroyed all the impulses of Phobos in the new life. In fact, he destroyed them himself. But this time he has everything to defend his dreams. You need to get rid of obsessive thoughts. Bring your mind and body to harmony and calm. This is achieved through breathing meditation, which was suggested by Coach Marno. This will help you control your mental state and reveal yourself. He has not yet mastered that meditation completely, but the effect is already felt. They'll do it. What a smug little guy. He was the one who scored the goal that time. FC Bayern versus Dreamtree Expedition Team. Game begins. Player Myrtle immediately burst into the game. Let Daniel be closer to the defensive line. Müller immediately deployed midfielders to the left flank and center of the field. Bayern's leading player began to pursue Phobos Myrtle, and now they meet again. Phobos is shorter than his opponent, but he can head the pass. It's all about choosing the right moment and direction. You need to find the right place. The skill of a strong headbutt will come in very handy in the fight against this monster. Myrtle heads the ball to his teammate and confidently breaks forward. The Brazilian player dribbles the ball through the defensive line and passes it back to Myrtle. The leading player of the expedition overtakes his main competitor in a matter of seconds. The ball seemed to stick to Phobos. The player was already at the goal line, and the first goal was in favor of the expedition. 30 seconds had passed since the start of the game, and the shorty had already scored a goal. These were definitely the same guys. All players had to get back to their positions, and for the first half hour they tried to defend themselves. The expedition players trained a lot. Their skills became better, but they are still inferior to Bayern. A strategy is needed. Inrock Müller scored a lightning-fast goal against the opponent and equalized the overall score. The second half began. What the hell? This short guy is pushing. A scorer and playmaker in one? Something is wrong with this psycho. So small, but strong as oak. And every time a new style of play, as if he doesn't have his own. Müller started chasing Myrtle again. Why is he bothering him? They have already won. Now it's his turn. Even the running style of this shorty resembles some football player. As if he is copying a player he likes. This time, Bavaria will not be able to take this chance away from Phobos. Mammon will not offer him another deal. You need to use your second life to the maximum, and some Müller won't be able to take it away. We can't let our opponents play at this pace. We need to put pressure on the leading player. Why are they bothering him? He needs the talents of a genius. Let's go away. He doesn't have much left. Phobos was surrounded by rivals. The rest should cover the shorty from behind and narrow the space. How annoying. They are so strong. Will there always be someone better than him? After another kick, player Phobos felt a sharp pain in his knee and fell. The boy is fine. Maybe see a doctor. This isn't the first time. It will pass soon. It was simply impossible to forget about special massages. But this is not critical. This is a free kick opportunity, and Phobos will kick the ball himself. It's personal for him. Given his current situation, it's not worth it. He won't let anyone else become the darling of fame. There are 24 meters to the gate. You can try set play, but the players will be trapped in their own half, and will have to do everything themselves. The goalkeeper is strong at medium-range shots. The others are also focused. You need to focus on your opponent's strengths. For Lindemann, goal line control, skill of catching the ball in the air. But the best side is the reflection of blows from medium range. His hitting ability is better than others, but there's nothing special about him. The ball's trajectory is clear, although it looks scary, but it can be blocked. A standard shot would have been better, with Four hitting left into the open area. The distance is about 5 steps. Most likely Myrtle will cross it. So Bayern must not lose to these losers. The goalkeeper has a big responsibility now. Phobos took a good run and hit the ball. The boy had a great spin. What the hell? This shorty chose a completely different tactic than his usual one. The expedition team scores a goal against Bayern. It was unexpectedly fast. What kind of shot was that? This guy was like a cannon. A twisting strike. A technique that allows you to strike from a long distance. Without taking many steps, the player will kick the ball with the tip of his foot. There should be some trauma from such a blow, but his body is strong beyond his age. This is how it should have been at their first meeting. They will remember this match for a long time. Phobos scored. He is the best, the most talented. Everyone saw it. The score is 2-1. Phobos has time to win and steal the coveted talents. Coach Marno told the boy not to compete, but to play, and it works. After that, they were caught off guard. Munich scored a goal. The score was level again. An expedition player passes the ball to a player named Myrtle. Phobos receives it and scores a goal with his head. Phobos Myrtle successfully completed a hat trick. The score is 3-2. They can win. Apparently, the boys were just warming up in the first match with Bayern. The opponent is having a hard time. Müller breaks through the defense again and scores a goal against the expedition. The score is tied again, which means there will be extra time. Players from both teams were exhausted, and both needed one last, decisive push to win. The teams have 5 minutes. Phobos needs to hold out, focus on defense. The team's endurance is at its limit. Attacking in such a situation would be madness. This is what the Bayern team was waiting for. The players rushed to the center of the field. The score remained unchanged. If things continue like this, the winner will be determined in a penalty shootout. And so it happened. The Munich team scored the first goal. It looks like neither team is going to give up the right to win today. The guys were inspired, feeling a real chance of winning their rematch. Junior Henk, the expedition's first striker, he can score too. The player hit the right side of the opponent's goal, the goal in favor of the expedition. In the following minutes, neither team gave in, and goals rained down one after another. Bayern's leading player scores from mid-range as expected. The expedition player makes a spinning kick and scores another goal for his team. 3 is 3, and then 4 is 4. No one wants to give up the lead. But then the Bayern player missed and hit the goalpost. The opponents rejoiced. The fifth blow has been missed. This is the very chance for the expedition to the dream tree. The final deciding blow is on the player Phobos Myrtle. If he scores, they will win. Of course, with the stolen talents, scoring a goal against Munich was not difficult. They succeeded, they won, Müller approached Phobos, and now this is interesting. The enemy was the first to shake the thief's hand. What a sporty, noble, sporty behavior. Their teams tied the score after that crushing defeat, leaving them tied. Phobos scored only 4 goals out of 5, so they did not steal Batistuta's talent. He managed to steal from Müller, spatial penetration, the first talent of rank A+. Now he has all the necessary qualities for attack. Just great. 2 days later, DC United beat the Expedition 2-1. The guys fought until the last minute, not wanting to give in, like they did to Bayern the first time. But alas, the coach supported the guys. The victory over Bayern is already a great achievement. The Expedition went on holiday during the last 3 days of the tournament, and they were already watching the football tournament from the stands, noting the weaknesses of other teams. The coach wants to introduce Phobos to something, which means a new talent will come. More precisely, they already knew each other. But as they got to know each other better, Gabriel Batistuta entered the room. Coach Marno insisted on today's meeting, and for good reason, it will be beneficial. The footballer himself wanted to see the junior before his departure, but for what reason? Gabriel is here to keep his past promise and tell you something. Myrtle showed himself well in the tournament, although it was mentally difficult for him. Maybe even the guy will become like Gab in the future. Judging by his game, he will be better than anyone. Coach Marno reported that Phobos began to feel insecure and give up after the defeat. Batistuta will share with the boy his secret of effective play. This is luck. So how to achieve success? During the game, Gab mentally draws the entire field in his head. It doesn't matter whether he controls the center like a midfielder or wears down the opponent's defense. It is important for him to monitor the movements of each player, the entire team, and the progress of the game. The screen above Gabriel with his talents suddenly became empty. But what's the matter? Myrtle's current talent slot is full. Space penetration is suspended. Copying the talent will end after the time limit expires. In 33 days, he can choose the talent of Batistuta. But he has not scored 5 goals. Or a goal from a penalty also counts. Phobos will have talent of eye level. The boy didn't even expect such a gift from fate. Now this trip will become his golden ticket. He will be an attacker who will control the entire flow of the game on the field. Now even the former idol will no longer be unique. What a sweet feeling. Gabriel is glad that he helped the boy. He can't even imagine how much. Gab even gave private lessons and pointed out where Myrtle needed to improve. If he had known that he was helping the thief of his talent, he would not have smiled so widely. Brazil, Sao Paulo, Phobos is finally back. There is even a certain feeling of home. The climate of Brazil has already become familiar and pleasant, and here is my neighbor Monica. There are already people here who are waiting for him and are happy about his return. It's so nice. They hadn't seen each other for a long time. The girl had grown so much, as had her talents, and the boy also grew taller. Soon she wouldn't be able to stroke his head. Then Phobos can play with her, let her come to her senses. After a month, training and studying were going like clockwork, and the talent slot was expanded. Some talents began to influence others. He almost mastered Batistuta's talent. With such a level of talent, the Youth Championship I3 will be a piece of cake for the boy. Phobos has a much bigger advantage over junior teams when he steals talent from an adult. Thoughts are now under control, as is his body. Everything is decided by the inner attitude. The expedition to the Tree of Dreams gave the boy so much. Soon he will collect all the missing puzzles. Coach Carlo entered the hall. Tomorrow he needs to go to the physical measurements room. It's time to do some pre-championship dynamics between the changes from the last inspection. Another medical examination? Why is everyone so tense here? After all, these are just medical indicators of their health and growth. Apparently, the whole point is that based on the results of this examination, there will be a screening. Players need to pass the stats to move up to I5 because they're older, and today's examination will decide their future fate in the world of football. Phobos is not worried, since he will be evaluating the data of already established football players. This is a chance for him to move up a league in the championship at such a young age. Considering how much talent he stole, he should definitely be sent to a more senior team. The medical test turned out to be much more difficult than the one conducted before the age of 13. It includes tests for the musculoskeletal system and the cardiovascular system. Isometric strength, cardiac work, body fat analysis, sprint test. For speed, for the work of the lungs and heart during continuous running at a fast speed. Coach Carlo won't believe the test results. This is a new sprint record. This can't be. The previous record was 4 seconds. Phobos Myrtle beat this time. He ran in 3 9/10 of a second. This is an absolute record, which is completely beyond his age. The guy could easily participate in athletics, but he didn't have that kind of talent. The indicators are all off the charts, like those of an adult professional at the peak of his form. He is even faster than adult athletes. What kind of strength fuels him so much? Based on the results this season, Phobos will be able to play 31 matches. What did this bastard do to get such data, and how did he pay? And here are the results of the medical examination. They are certainly impressive. Myrtle has grown 7 centimeters in 4 months, a monstrous growth rate. Finally, no one will call him short. Phobos now looks like a model. From that moment on, the guy trains at the main stadium. He was transferred to Interstate 5. So from now on, the player will be on a team with 15-year-old guys. That's great news. Carlo will be in charge of the 15-year-old team, so his coach will not change. Coach Carlo senses talent and is better than others at discovering it. It's cool. The boy recently joined FC Sao Paulo and has already shown such growth. Why is the guy sad? He will have to face someone better than him again. But it's okay, until the moment when their talents serve Phobos' success. Myrtle will have to quickly get used to new roles and styles of play. He will also get to know a different style of championship, where he will be able to make a name for himself in the league. Sharpen your basic skills by learning new techniques and strategies to dominate the field. With his greed, this is not a problem. On the contrary, he will become much stronger, and it will come easy to him. And besides, this is a completely different level of the game, and accordingly, there are more bonuses. Famous clubs are already starting to closely monitor juniors of this age. So there is nothing scary, just opportunities for world fame. By the way, in connection with the new opportunities, Phobos has one request regarding his contract. He would like to play in at least 31 matches, because he needs absolutely all the talents. The medical team said he could, well, the kid knows. The coach will talk to the committee about it, and he will be put in for 31 games. And which club he wants to move to in the future, scouts from famous clubs will come. Phobos thought about the future, but now he focused on the present. Bianca is happy to see the boy again. He has grown so quickly in the last year. It's hard to believe. It's all fresh air, proper nutrition and exercise? No, Myrtle definitely has a secret. The player's salary has already doubled. The team does not want to miss out on his talents. All incentive bonuses for goals and assists are also doubled. In I3, no one has ever earned such a sum. The guy tried really hard. He has something to work for. The boy's ransom amount also increased to 1 billion won. This is simply incredible money. He has never seen anything like it. And now this is the value of Phobos in football. There is a month left before the start of the National League in Brazil. Today is a difficult day. The match schedule is scheduled for 10 months. 70 matches per season is the norm. Beginner players can quickly become tired if the team composition is weak. During the transition to the senior team, most players break down and leave. The other guys don't show it, but they've definitely got the newbie under control. If only the kids knew that they are all under his special control. He is watching each one of them. Wherever you go, you can't avoid the fight for a place in the starting lineup. It's a big tournament, it attracts scouts, no one will miss such a chance. He has been loaned out to another club and will be the #1 target. Douglas and Kyle were also transferred to I5, but he no longer had anything to steal from them. But the rest will be a great meal, and what a strange feeling. This guy has an incredibly powerful aura. He seems very familiar. Strong and tall body, raging power over the edge. He is definitely an attacker. He is one of the top 3 most promising players in Brazil. His name is Rosca. The boy has a bad feeling about this monster, but this will not stop Phobos from tasting his talents during the next training sessions. In terms of skill and talent, only Rosca is his rival in the new team. New players have joined the team, so the focus is on team play. Newcomers must get used to the new style of play, and old ones to the new participants. They will be divided into 2 teams and play a match, Phobos and Team A. Rosca is on the opposing team. Fighting an ace on the first day without stealing new talents is unpleasant. Player Myrtle suddenly bursts into the game. What was that? Something just flew past. So wait, that short guy was already at the opponent's gates. No one noticed him. Phobos scores the first goal. The player completely dominated the field. This guy rushed past like a wild horse. What a show. The new guy decided to show off at his first training session. The story is as old as the world. Roska's position is closer to that of a shadow striker than a midfielder. A player with exceptional football intelligence, he always controls the game. Team B snatched the ball from their opponent and rushed to the center of the field. Today, the main task is getting to know each other and establishing synchronization. But the fighting spirit is still there. Roska took a pass from his teammate and broke through the defensive line. What a nasty thing. Myrtle is even afraid to pursue him. But he is not the strongest player he has to rob. But no one should be better than him. This brat looks at you strangely and puts too much pressure on you. If Roska continues like this, he will lose control of the ball. What the hell? A brat's body is much stronger than an adult's. What's wrong with him? The maneuverability and play style certainly feel familiar, but chaotic. It's as if this is a clip of several players playing at once, rather than just one. And that pass, he deliberately created space for them to pass it and he could control it. Roska feels that this is not an ordinary boy with some talent. There is something inside him. His speed is astounding and does not slow down even while passing. It's as if this kid has the experience of several generations of football players. His young life would definitely not be enough for such experience. He dominates the game with his consistent possession of the ball. He also works very well with his head, as if the skills of different people were placed into him. Roska would never know how close he was to the truth of the nature of Phobos Myrtle's success. The players have switched teams. Now Roska and Myrtle are in the same Group A. This brat is also terribly greedy for attention, which is why Roska stared at him. Well, since he is carefully studying the boy, Phobos will also get to know him better. Genius, sharp judgment, graceful flexibility, precise interception of the ball, high activity. Legs of steel, sharp passes, a brilliant long-range sidekick. I haven't met anyone with a brilliant swing like Myrtle yet. The guy really stands out. Before Phobos joined the team, Roska was definitely the leading player of the I-5. This guy has excellent instincts and intuition, so he is justified in not trusting Myrd. And what's going on between these two? As if the other guys are involved in their personal showdown. Roska is hot-tempered and easily influenced by his opponents, but his talent is impressive. The players have warmed up well. Time to take a closer look at the new guy. The second match has started. Why did the shorty run there? Okay, Roska will pass the ball here. His teammate didn't have time to receive the ball, and it was intercepted by the opponent. And when this brat managed to open up, it's not a coincidence that he does. Phobos wants to show Batistuta's talent, penetration into space. Myrtle got past the opposition defense and was again open for a pass. Roska passed the ball too far, but that was what was required of him, and Myrtle scored easily. Coach Carlo doesn't seem surprised at all. It's not for nothing that this brat was transferred to the older team. What was it? Roska knew Pato and recognized his footwork and speed, and this feint. The speed to dribble, the way he shoots. It's like he has everything he needs to make the perfect player. What is this newbie hiding? There is definitely something in him, but he really plays excellently. Phobos ran up to Roska and obligingly praised his game. It would be better for him to be friends with him. At least for now, because Roska doesn't trust him. There's definitely a monster in him. The player passes the ball to Myrtle. Phobos receives the ball. Team A is led by 2 players. This is an unexpected collaboration, since Roska has always been a loner, running the game. Roska crossed the center of the field and rushed to the side flank, reducing the opponent's space. And now Roska is playing the game with someone for the first time. Apparently he too has succumbed to Myrtle's charm. The match is over. The guys played at full strength until the very end. This is a different level. 2 goals scored, 2 assists given, what a strange taste in the mouth. But surprisingly, Phobos played great in synchronization with Roska. He's really cool. Roska approached the fake winner and extended his hand. His talents are impressive. They impress millions of viewers because they belong to current football stars. In I-5, Phobos focused on adapting to a new style of play. Coach Carlo helped improve endurance and breathing through exercises. The stolen talents improved on their own and changed ranks to higher ones. 1 or more talents could be absorbed by others, and new skills appeared. The main thing is to showcase talent in the league, and adaptation is simply a priority task. Everything is ready for the debut in the new team. Phobos must make a name for himself. There are 20 teams in the first division. The current champion is FC Plaga. Among the players who signed Daymar, Sao Paulo, and Santos, there are those who are attracting attention. First match against Grêmio. They are in an average position, perfect for the first match. With a 4-3-1-2 formation, the key to the strategy is the midfield. Roska and Myrtle will take care of this. The perfect temperature for play. Grêmio have average potential. You won't get enough of it. Phobos' role today is to contain opponents with long-range strikes. Roska leads the center and the side flanks, and the team will succeed. Grêmio's key player is Lujan Orain, but he will not be able to play due to injury. The best thing they have is a stylish volleyball shot. They can't leave empty-handed. Phobos looked back at Roska. He was on fire. The debut match with this guy would be explosive. The results of the training are visible. After 5 minutes of play, they are dominant. This is who he is. The counterattack tempo is high. But if the passing and dribbling are not clear, it will not work. The matches with the new team are really different from the previous ones from the first minutes. For example, Grêmio plays a style of swamp football, a type of anti-football that harasses the opponent with rough play. To provoke fouls, the tactic works well on hot-tempered players. Rosca fits the description perfectly and is already seething with anger. Soon he will simply start beating them. The captain of the R5 Sao Paulo team, Frances, told Rosca not to get worked up. Opponents deliberately provoke Rosca into making a mistake, so that he can avoid unnecessary physical contact. They are already having a hard time converting their shots. The match today is open. There is so much pressure. Fren is a central midfielder with great experience and flair. Myrtle is up front, and if the pressure gets too much, he'll break the flow with a long ball. This new guy analyzes and seems to combine dozens of different players. Fren got the idea from the striker, and with this kind of pressure, it might work. The Myrtle player crossed the center of the field and broke through the defensive line to pass the ball. The Sao Paulo captain received a brilliant pass, dribbled the ball down the left flank and passed it back. The midfielders are moving, but how are they going to attack? Sao Paulo can claim the championship. Rosca rushes to the center. Hernandez is blocking Rosca's passage. It will be very difficult for him to break through. Myrtle pointed his finger to the right. Rosca should pass the ball there, but there is too little space there, okay? They and Myrtle will break through anyway. Rosca trusted his teammate, bypassed the opponent's pressure and passed the ball to Phobos. A Sao Paulo player receives a pass and makes a lightning-fast breakthrough through the defensive line. What kind of racing car just flew past them? They didn't even have time to do anything. Forward Sao Paulo, Myrtle curls the ball in and scores. The opponents put two players on the leaders Rosca and Myrtle to delay them. Rosca will soon simply start beating them. The enemy is deliberately provoking him. It doesn't matter how good these two from Sao Paulo are if they don't score. The team needs to seize the moment now. Myrtle gave the order to the others. Once again, Rosca and Myrtle players break through the defensive line, and the opponents decided to completely close off the room for maneuver. They are exerting excessive pressure. We need to stop the short guy. Let the midfielders stop the second leading player. Their pressing is too strong. They don't give any space at all. They're like savages. The coach blew his whistle and gave player number 4 a yellow card. It was worth it. He stopped the brat, even though he got a yellow card. After the yellow card, the 4th player began to put pressure on Myrtle again. Why is he clinging to Myrtle? Let him focus on the game and not on pressing. Besides, all these dirty tricks won't work. Sao Paulo will win today. They are confident in their play in the penalty area. In aerial battles, you need the right position. The ball flew up into the air. The two opponents started pushing each other. What kind of fuss were they having there? And the Sao Paulo player scores a header, making it 2 goals. Who is this crazy guy? His skills and strength are completely out of proportion to his age and body. And what the hell? All the players feel like there is a whole team inside him. This is not the first goal scored by Phobos with a header. And this one was different. Again, an unexpected talent. Everything is so strange. It is impossible to headbutt from that height, starting from 0, in that amount of time. Romario could score a goal with his head despite his short stature, and that was what made him unique. There are many foreign techniques in it, so what kind of devilish power gives it such success? It's too early to compare him to Romario, but we need to prepare an award. The club director agrees. He will look into this issue. The guys have had an excellent debut. Gremio coach Arvalo, a disgusting debut for a team even with an aggressive style of play. Rosca is hard enough to stop, and now this ubiquitous newcomer. In the second half, the number of defenders will increase. One-on-one tactics. Alessandro must stick to Myrtle and follow him relentlessly everywhere, even if his position changes. Phobos moves to the position of midfielder. Rosca to the defensive midfielder. Sao Paulo's new striker is Douglas Costa. What the hell? They made a change. Gremio are in disarray. Their tactics were designed for 2 leading players, not 3. Taking advantage of this, Myrtle breaks through to the goal and scores a goal. Newcomer I5 Sao Paulo broke through a weak defensive line and scored the decisive goal against the opponents. The game ends 6-0. Sao Paulo FC wins on its debut. This can't be. The game ended so quickly before it even started. Phobos scored a hat-trick in his debut match. Scouts will fight for this kid. And the 2 strongest players have got along well together, trust each other, and work as one mechanism. And now to the new stolen talents. Soon Rosca's talent will be his too. A man in a suit appeared in front of the youth team. And the 5 Sao Paulos have done very well. They need to be rewarded. Stop, he knows. A portrait of this very face hangs in the corridor of the training center. It is Vito himself, the director of Sao Paulo. This means he has all the necessary connections. Vito is responsible for placing players in the best clubs in the world. Phobos brazenly flew up to the director and said his name. Let him remember it well. What was that just now? How could you be so impudent next to the director himself? The director of FC Sao Paulo has provided so many players with world fame and a path in life. The guy will also be among them. What an assertive boy. Great character. But for the game, in life he can already breathe a sigh of relief. So, in honor of the great debut and the addition of new players, the club has a gift. What will be their reward? Why is the old man dragging it out? Phobos loves rewards. Would any of the guys like to visit Mobi, Sao Paulo's home stadium in Itaquera? Their team will go there tomorrow. Vito got tickets for everyone. The children roared with delight. Mirdlu would also be interested in visiting there. Here at the door, the trainer began waving his hands and calling Phobos. And now, an interview with FC Sao Paulo player Phobos Myrtle, who scored a hat-trick on his debut. First interview in Brazil, let everyone remember, Phobos is the best. A historic moment, the first hat-trick in 18 years since Rivaldo. The first goal was scored with a powerful shot from medium range through a narrow gap. Phobos was always confident in his incredible speed and punch, so he struck right away. After the blow, the boy ran to the coach. He believes that it was he who gave him this opportunity. And this game is the result of the team and its work over the course of a month. After all, they only recently met. But they have already become a single whole, where each gear is significant. Without it, the work of the others is impossible. Well, what a grown-up interview. The kid knows how to work in front of the camera. He's just a godsend for clubs. The guy is certainly not distinguished by modesty, but he will definitely be remembered by the viewer. City of Vitória, Recife, sports training facility. Those idiots are teasing Monica again. Today, everyone is going to watch the football match. Monica wants to too. The boys teased her all the time. Apparently they liked her. What idiots. Monica can't watch the match. She doesn't have money, and they will go with their parents. She used to watch matches with her parents. She misses them so much. None of this matters. Who cares about a stupid match anyway? Phobos called out to her. I mean, she really loves football. And Monica wouldn't like to go to the match with him today. It will be an interesting spectacle, of course. She is looking forward to the start of the game, because Monica will see the match live for the first time. Myrtle also invited Maria, but she has things to do, so this is a return thank you for helping with the language. And here comes the outcast in shorts. What is Monica doing here? Let her go to gymnastics, these idiots again. Monica was about to answer them, but Phobos took her by the hand and dragged her to the match. What was that? The moment seemed to have been taken out of a romantic movie. By the way, their places are not in the general section, not in the side section, and not in the VIP section. But where do they go in that case? This is a surprise for Monica. The boy did not want to talk ahead of time, so as not to smooth out the effect of what he saw. Well, this is a heavenly lounge. Well, future football legends have their advantages and opportunities. How excited Monica is. She brought them snacks, but it takes 20 minutes to mash. There are so many people in the stands. And where are the director and the coach? They should definitely be at the match. Coach Carlo said they would be watching the game with Director Vito. And there they are upstairs. There is someone else with him. We need to get his attention. Suddenly it is someone important. Phobos brazenly rushed towards the adults. This is Coach Ancelotti. Italian Championship, Serie A, Milan head coach. Why is the child looking at him so greedily? Ricardo Kaká. He is incredible. He cornered the Santos defenders in the first seconds. He is worthy of Milan's interest, and he shouldn't overexert himself until he joins them. After the opening match, Vito will work on his schedule to maintain his condition. It is not surprising that there is such an influx of Brazilians into national teams all over the world that FIFA even introduced a naturalization clause. And the one who trained the future legend was none other than Carlo. Carlo trains promising players? Maybe he can give us a hint who's next. Carlo smiled. This talent had just tried to get his attention from the lower stands. It can't be that strange Asian with greedy eyes. We need to take note. Ancelotti will see him on TV again. Ricardo Kaká started the game. Pelé called him an incredible genius. The hunger of this era, he even looks like it. Strong in tackling and running, a dominant playmaker who leads the attack. Perfect in everything. But Myrtle will not allow superiority. Kaká's talents must become his. As the embodiment of the struggle with a kind heart, in general and ideal in everything, Phobos will give in to these qualities. Only sport is important to him. They shoved something into the boy's mouth. He chewed it mindlessly. And what kind of crap was this? What a fool, Monica laughed. He was so carried away that he didn't even look at what they were suggesting to him. Why is she calling him names? She was just teasing him. What a childish tantrum. And really, he's just so excited. Kaká is incredible. He wants to be like him. It's amazing how the players run for the entire 90 minutes. He can't do that even with other people's talents. It's hard to believe that this child will become the future of Kaká. But Carlo is not wrong. We need to inform the scout who will be at the championship. After the rest, they began training hard in a new format and with a focus on health because they had become more mature. Fitness trainer, Miros, Myrtle has compact muscles but weak ligaments and tendons. If this is not taken care of in advance, then his balance will collapse, and then his coordination. It will be difficult to withstand the pressure and the risk of injury increases. The cruciate ligaments of the knee will rupture. His position involves a sharp change in direction. And the sudden acceleration, he needs to be very careful. One knee injury and his career was over. Phobos adjusted his diet. On the advice of my trainer, I corrected my posture and did stretching to maintain balance. Balanced growth is the most important thing. A better future is impossible without it. The National League is halfway through and the results are already coming in. Myrtle had 2 assists and secured the team's victory. With the help of Rosk's talent, Phobos' coordination is getting better every day. The Super Championship is coming soon. Last year's champions will compete in it to determine the best in the country. There's a lot at stake. The level of difficulty is at its highest, and the prize pool is huge. Fluminense FC from Rio de Janeiro, winner of 29 championships with nothing but stars in the lineup. Roska and Myrtle will undergo special training aimed at protection. Fluminense have a monster player, a striker and defender in one. The role of these two on the attack line will be crucial. Let them remember his name. They will meet him at least 4 times a season. Carcelo Niera de Alba is the eldest, and everyone must remember his name. Known as Carcelo, a defender comparable to Robinho. This is his report on the characteristics, the match records, the comparison of both teams. Yes, the stats of this monster are truly impressive. It will be difficult to deal with it even in a team with Rosca. Last year, their FC's performance was inferior to Fluminense's. They were defeated essentially by Carcelo alone. So from one day onwards, all training will be aimed specifically at tactics against this leading player. Carcelo is a whole team. We need to act on his weaknesses and use his team. Phobos will be a pillar. He will be able to avoid pressure and counterattack the defense. Carcelo leaves no space before the striker receives the ball. You will need to run away from this monster and at the same time press so that it does not slip through. This brat not only understood everything, but also suggested a solution. He is not a child at all. They can't be beaten with theory alone, and Carcelo isn't the only top-level defender, but the only one who will snatch victory from other teams. All attention is on his elimination. Rosca will go to the tactics coach. Fran and Kyle will already be there waiting for him. Phobos has individual training. Let him come to the first team training. Coach Carlo will introduce him to a new, good mentor. He will help him defeat Carcelo. As with Ricardo, with the preparation for the transfer, the club helps him a lot. He does almost nothing. Kaka doesn't change his habits, that's all. He feels restless if he doesn't train for at least a day. Carlo has been guiding Ricardo from the very beginning and is very proud of the boy. He is the future of football. Kaka will do everything to not let down the coach's expectations. What favor are we talking about? Before Kaka leaves for Milan, the club is asking one young player from the I-5 to be a mentor, to guide and coach one-on-one, or in other words, as his teacher. Last year there was a guy named Douglas. The new guy will be here soon. What kind of next generation awaits the world of football? Rick will now see for himself. And here it is. Is this his desired dessert that has come to the boy himself? A world-class star, and Ricardo himself will be the boy's mentor. This is the happiest day in his life. Prince of football T, Prince of the game U, lightning-fast dribbling, good-natured character, sculptural beauty, flexible technique, reliable implementation, high speed and efficiency. And this is Ricardo, the crown prince of football, who hasn't even reached his peak. A perfect nickname for his talents, body and looks. He is especially good in attack. He has everything a forward playmaker needs. And his talent for creating chances and passes is incredible. Considering the cosmic talent, the conditions for copying talents are very difficult. Kaka is leaving for Milan in the summer. Will he have time to train with him for 1,000 minutes? Ricardo will be his mentor for 4 weeks. He will devour his talents, thanks to Carlo. This is a gift before the championship. An hour of training. Phobos is already exhausted. Ricardo trained almost every minute of his life. Incredible stamina. The intensity of the training is for a child, but in fact, an adult man with a lot of talent cannot withstand it. Coach Marno told him to enjoy football itself, but Phobos was more interested in enjoying its glory. He has very little time, he can't waste it on rest. Every minute must go towards copying talents. The lungs are already about to abandon their owner. But now is not the time for pity. Ricardo will become the path to life. His talents are incomparable to anyone else. If the guy is tired, he can take a break, not at all. Then they will continue working with training cones. Phobos wants to become a great player like Kaka, and to do that he will lose his uniqueness. Well then the boy will have a hard time. First he needs to correct the blow. He falls on his right leg. What role does Phobos like to play the most? He wants to lead the game. Merdlu is interested in dominating the entire field, deciding the course of the current game and its outcome. Ricardo understands the boy's thinking perfectly well, but this role requires a lot. So the playmaker, he sets the attack and controls its tempo. Ribari, Maradona, Zidane, Messi, Ronaldinho. Phobos wanted to play in the positions of winger, attacking midfielder and shadow striker. It remains to be seen whether the boy has the corresponding potential. There are 4 categories: intuition, determination, prudence, and foresight. The playmaker must anticipate the opponent's moves 5 steps ahead. Sometimes you need to set a movement to move without the ball. The basis of this role is ball control. First you need to learn to receive the ball. Let him stand there. Rick will pass to him. Let him run to the ball to receive it. It's a test of foresight and prudence. He did the same with Rosca. The boy must calculate the maneuverability and the angle of impact on the ball. They use cones, so you have to watch the field and not just run. Concentrate on the player and not the ball. If you keep your eyes on the ball, it will be too late. They will start with a difficult pass. His speed is incredible, although his reflexes are not perfect. Now they'll try a long-range sidekick, and he's a good guy. The boy instantly calculates the correct trajectory of his movement and the fall of the ball. So that's why Coach Carlo was so insistent on coaching Ricardo. It makes sense. As he hit the ball from a medium distance, the student again guesses the direction and manages to receive the ball. Phobos's lungs are giving up on him. Let him rest already. They've already worked well. He has good ball direction, good mental toughness, and determination. It's as if several football players were placed inside this boy at once. Amazing development. And why doesn't Ricardo himself rest? And he's definitely not an adult. Where does the concern for others come from? People just have to be hardworking in their decisions, then there will be no obstacles in front of them. The only way to solve any problem effectively. The light of this superstar is simply blinding. It is not legal to be so perfect in everything. Phobos jumped up. He is also hardworking in his new life, albeit in his own way. Well, they continue or what? Ricardo went through the impossible because of his love for football, and Phobos only chatted about his unrequited love. Hard work is always rewarded, with acquired skills or something else. The opponents have a player named Carcelo, an incredibly strong defender among the I-5. This means that in the future, Kaka should see him in the national team. And that's how it will be. Ricardo is a genius. He will really be on the same team with him in the future. The most important thing for a playmaker is to anticipate the opponent's game and match its style. The boy's endurance has already become much better. He began to run longer with his mentor. Kaka taught mind control in addition to technical skills in sports. Ricardo himself grew up in a privileged family that did not take sports seriously. Therefore, Ricardo could only do it as a hobby and to develop his muscular frame. But then it became his dream. He enjoyed it and nourished it. Every night he exercised with a ball and a skipping rope. And in the morning he swam to become stronger. And I enjoyed football more. Until I was 14, I sat on the bench. The coach and parents pressured him and forced him to give up, but he brought home the championship. At 18, Kaka had an accident and damaged his spine, and the doctor told him to forget about sports. But he believed in himself and came back. Rick swept away the unbreakable walls, and Phobos did nothing. He simply wanted fame and felt sorry for himself, convincing himself that it was someone else's fault. This is what it means to love your work. But Phobos only liked the picture without the real component. But now he has all the talent in the world. Even if it's unfair, he will reach his goal. You have to believe in yourself. Ricardo is simply a standard in everything. But Phobos has already chosen the wrong path. And behind him there are 10 more players. Hard work will give them focus only on football. This guy is truly the best, a role model. You feel more confident next to him. The main thing is to understand how to free yourself from Carcelo's pressure. When Kaka played in the I-5, he faced a scary player. The defender is named Johnny Valve, so there is one technique that has been worked out. There are too many people for a youth match. Apparently everyone read the article. Cavallo, Marinho Phobos Myrtle. Will he become a dragon? Here he is. Everyone wants to see him play today. Carcelo bursts into the game straight away, with a rough but flexible style. Football genius and burst of energy. A. Flexible dribbling and sharp crosses. B. Outstanding ball control. Ball tackling, rhythmic flexibility, pure Marseille spin. Everything revolves around Carcelo. Observation must overcome him. It has a weakness that can be exploited. Carcelo is good at tackling, so he is confident that he will get the ball back even if he loses it. When Myrtle gives the signal, Rosca presses number 2. Rosca immediately attacked his opponent. Unexpected pressure. Carcelo can dribble or pass forward. Phobos jumped out in front of him. There was little time to turn, so he sent the lamb. And he puts pressure on the first line. Good try. If they dribble away, their plan will go to waste. This means that Sao Paulo uses not only pressing, but also physical combat. What the hell? This brat is fast and hard as an anvil. Fluminense plays confidently in defense, turning everything around with one counter-attack. Ricardo is simply brilliant. Everything is exactly as he said. Players like Carcelo are weak against physical play. You need to press harder. Why the hell is Rosca sneaking into the penalty area? He won't steal his thunder. More precisely, Phobos stole Rosca's glory, not in order to return it back. Rosca makes a precise pass to Myrtle, who will strike with the inside of his foot. And FC Sao Paulo scores its first goal. A consistently different game. Who is he? You can see Ricardo's mentorship. He's a brilliant guy after all. They have a chance to win. The synchronicity between these two is impressive. As if they had been training for years. What kind of demon is this? Carcelo feels uneasy about this brat. End of the first half. If we win today, the road to the final will be easy. One goal from the opponent means nothing. They can score. The whole problem is in some incomprehensible power of this little bastard. And it is not clear what kind of game the shadow attackers are playing. They do not correspond to their roles. In the second half, Fluminense began to close the space and put too much pressure on their opponents. The opponents began to get nervous and lose control. Fluminense was given a yellow card. They deliberately provoke a collision. Everything goes according to plan. Grêmio's tactics of the past made it difficult for Fluminense to play. Douglas must prepare for his role. Sao Paulo have a replacement. All Sao Paulo players must spread out across the field. Carcelo moves too much, so they can't make accurate passes. We need to increase the game score before they counterattack. So Phobos mentally draws a field in his head. The second and third lines are too far. The defense breaks down right there, and Douglas has to drop back to receive the ball. A short pass and quickly forward where these two were heading. Sao Paulo FC found the right rhythm, and Douglas's play removed the pressure from the opposition. If Doug breaks through the first line, Phobos can rush in with just the right timing. Player Douglas breaks through the first line and passes the ball to Myrtle. Phobos takes the pass and races towards the goal line. Their opponents are doomed. Fluminense got lost in Sao Paulo's strategy and failed to make the necessary accents on the flanks. And Sao Paulo scores their second goal. What the hell was that? From that moment on, the game became one-sided, with holes in Fluminense's defense. The guys broke through, Carcelo counterattacked, but was unable to score. After the main defense fell, he didn't have a chance to use his overlapping run. End of game, Sao Paulo FC wins 2-0. He will meet Carcelo 3 more times this season, so there is no need to rush his talents. Great start. They can definitely make it to the final. The audience applauded Phobos' performance, that's his fuel. Antonio Soriano, so many prospects and scouting reports. And we also need to look for young people and negotiate transfers. That guy only ordered 1 Americano and has been sitting there with it for 2 hours already. He could have at least gotten some cake for decency's sake. We need to work. We need to start with the most important thing, Daimar. The real miracle of this century. So, what is this note on the FC Sao Paulo folder from Coach Ancelotti? Carcelo was crushed by this unsightly brat. First match of the National League, Santos FC versus Coritiba FC. All the attention in the stands is focused on one player. The most talented young player, Daimar. The future of football has arrived. A great, balanced player, still very young. He needs a year to blossom. Excellent maneuverability, great footwork, fine ball control. Daimar combines fluid physicality and flashy technique with the Brazilian character. The game is over. Santos FC wins by 3-0. This year, the championship will most likely go to FC Santos. Next up is Sao Paulo against Bahia, with 4 promising players in Cale Pode, Douglas Costa, Rosca, and Phobos Myrtle. This kid combines many other people's skills. He's like a constructor, plays in several positions, sets the tone for the game, versatile player. 9 successful dribbles, 3 shots on target, natural talent, excellent characteristics, almost like an adult professional player. This is a great option. Antonio needs to meet him. Today was a great game. Their next opponent will lose too. He never got his goal scoring up to the level he needed. We will need to embellish this talent in Pato. There are so many of them in the world. We need to hurry. A football scout appeared behind the boy and introduced himself. He's here to find out more about the boy. Wait, Madrid, Spain. Yes, it is an honor, but let him not take it seriously yet. The Spanish team highly values Phobos' talent. Let him gather strength before the match. Antonio will come back for him. The team arrived in Rio de Janeiro. Today is the rematch with Fluminense. The players were not idle after the loss, and this is their home field. Even a slight loss of concentration can be fatal. In any of the 3 scenarios, they will reach the quarterfinals with a win, a draw, or a loss by 1 goal. If they win, they will go to the final. Let them show their Brazilian power on the field. During the handshake, Carcelo squeezed Phobos hard, dirty tricks. But it doesn't compare to the boy's dark path. It will steal his talent. Let Carcelo remember this moment when an irresistible force stands before him. Fluminense stepped up their flank attack, using a 4-4-2 formation. A countermeasure because Sao Paulo plays the pitch narrowly and tightly. Carcelo is a right winger. They want to attack from that flank. Sao Paulo has a plan. If the opponent strengthens the side, they will change the formation to 4-3-3. The scheme strengthens the sides, but makes the center freer. You need to dominate in the center. You can't allow the ball to be passed along the flanks. Fluminense are fighting to the death. The guys fight as if their lives depend on it, no matter who their coach is. They are trying to dominate the center, but the strategy is not working. This makes the home team even more angry. They cross the line, but the referee remains silent. Rosca's player breaks through to the center, but is attacked by a Fluminense player. A scuffle begins. The players fall to the ground. Rosca feels a sharp pain. The coach approaches the players and issues a red card. Why the hell is Rosca given a red card? Did the referee close his eyes, or is his son playing for the opponents? Rosca just lost his balance because of the blow from this idiot. Why the hell is he being sent off? There was no unsportsmanlike conduct or foul that prevented a goal from being scored. This card will disqualify Rosca for 2 matches in the Super League. Let the player say his name, for which the referee sends him off. Let him say his name. Whoever bought this idiot needs to calm Rosca down. Disputes can add penalties to the team. Ramka will worsen his position and the position of his team. We need to stop. They will deal with them anyway. Rosca dos Santos, send the offender off the field. You can't contradict the referee. That's the first rule in football. The rest of the guys clench their fists. It was a rotten situation. No matter how much blood these guys start to spill here, they weren't prepared for this. These cowards play dirty even on their home field. It's time to ground these degenerates. Sao Paulo will win no matter what. These bastards will regret it. The team lost one of its strongest players, and the coach called the captain. Let them pass the ball, but focus on blocking passes. You can't let them open up angles for shots. In addition, players must avoid physical collisions, a tactic called false 9. You need to step back to support the center of the field. In simple terms, a midfielder disguised as a striker. To help in the organized game, during the attacks on Phobos there is a great responsibility. Attack, defense, and even a battle in the center of the field, their hope is Myrtle. Phobos runs tirelessly and does not let the coach down, supporting the midfield center. Sometimes he ran deep to help the defenders, participating in defense and interception. And then Phobos realized that at this rate they would lose. The space left by Rosca is too big. They will step up their attack. Plus, Carcelo is running to the side. He's in perfect shape. He seems like a different person. Does he really steal other people's talents? Like Phobos? Fluminense score a goal. What the hell? They managed to slip past the defense. Now this is bad. Sao Paulo needs to pull themselves together. They are not some kind of invincible opponent. The rest of the guys are forced to be cautious after the unfair situation with Rosca. Nobody wants to miss the tournament, so players are afraid to approach their opponent, making their job easier. After which Carcelo scores again. There is no retreat. The first half ended with a score of 2-0. These bastards are pressing from all sides. In addition to dirty tricks, they also put psychological pressure on players, humiliating them. What the hell are the players so scared of? What are they all so scared of? The coach sees that everyone has become cautious after Rosk's disqualification. What's the matter? Even the slightest contact will result in fouls for Sao Paulo players, so they are being cautious. Ignoring physical contact and playing passively are two different things. This is a semi-professional stage. This is just their first experience. In professional games, juniors will have similar negative experiences all the time. But this should not hold them back. They can continue to go on to victory by exploiting their weaknesses. Where is their professional thinking? Loss of peace is unacceptable. Worry is the enemy's guarantee of victory. It is not the team that is an invincible target. The coach understands what his students are doing, but their club and fans do not. They can destroy their rivals on their own territory. Let them get together. The guys have enough experience to find the right position and dominate the field. Everyone is scared and does not put enough pressure on the enemy. Phobos is a false nine, so he should use his brain faster. His role is decisive, but it will be difficult. Myrtle loved to be decisive. Why did Phobos stop Rosk? He should have told that cretin everything. But Rosca is still grateful, because he could have lost football forever. And one more thing, let Phobos use his power and do everything he can for him in victory. There was no need to even ask Phobos about this. All other people's talents would become his.